The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022, and this sports show shall be a pretty good one.
That's right.
That's right. Let's ride into this sports talk because today there's a lot of litigation. There's memos, there's lawsuits, there's new deals, there's old deals, there's BS, there's drama. And today is going to be absolutely packed. The Neuralink, the Arrow. Tom Pelissero will be joining us in about 17 minutes to give us an update on everything that is currently happening in the House Oversight Committee trial of Roger Goodell, who's on a Zoom call right now. We have not watched a lot of these oversight committees. I will say C-SPAN is by far the worst production in the history of anything.
Terrible.
There are high school production companies that could do vastly better job than whoever's running C-SPAN because we watched for the UFO conversation. We couldn't hear any of the things that were being said or see any of the things that were being said. And today, they had Roger Goodell swearing in, which would have been a good clip for us all to see him doing the whole hi thing, the right hand up on the
Bible.
Wouldn't cut to it. They finally cut to him. They got his name tag right over his entire face on the screen. Nonetheless, Roger Goodell is currently answering questions from quite a conflicted group of people in a committee.
Yeah.
I will say some of the people in the House Oversight Committee not exactly thrilled to be doing this on this particular day with everything else going on in the world. And I think a lot of people will obviously have some empathy for that notion. And then there's other people on that House Oversight Committee who are not fucking happy with what Dan Snyder's been up to for the last 20 years. I will say it does feel like Dan Snyder's about fucking dead because there has been some admission of guilt almost both from the NFL and Goodell in a certain different papers that were put out there. It feels like Dan Snyder is on his way out. But that has been said no less than 30 times in the past.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder is the consummate cockroach. He will survive. I think this one's going to be very difficult. We'll talk to Tom Pelissero about this monumental Oversight Committee.
Oversight.
See, I don't even know this shit.
House Oversight.
Nothing's going to happen in there. The committee's fighting with each other more so than they're fighting with Goodell or whatever. Classic government right in front of our eyes here. So we'll ask Tom about what's going to take place, how this is going to go. And if Dan Snyder was to be pushed out, how quickly does that happen? And when does the new ownership step in? And what has the NFL done to make sure that type of shit doesn't happen again in the future? I think that's the big question from the people in that Oversight Committee that are, they want to get into the nuts and bolts of this stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Roger Goodell said they turned over like 460,000 things.
Pages of documents, yeah.
That's a lot.
A lot.
Because the way it was be painted is they didn't turn over anything. 460,000 documents. Now, who knows what size font that is? Is that double spacing? Or is
True.
what's real, what isn't?
Period.
But I'm learning a little bit. Tom Pelissero will hopefully teach us more. We'll talk about that in about 16 minutes, 14 minutes or so. Kevin Weeksy, former NHL goalie, will join us in the second hour to talk about tonight's Game 4 of the Florida Stanley Cup Championship Final. The Tampa Bay Lightning, who looked dead in Colorado, came all the way back last game. Will that be something that'll continue to happen? We shall talk to Weeksy about. AJ Hawk's back after another vacation.
Wow. Really?
All right.
I didn't expect that.
The old Tuesday vacation.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what he does.
Can't wait to chat with him in the second hour. And then maybe your phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee this hour, next hour, or the one after that. There's, a lot of shit to talk about. Not a lot of it's positive, but hey, this is the offseason of the NFL. The Talk Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. Tone, beard looks good.
Thank you. Just got cleaned up today. I appreciate that.
Hey, shout out to the Back Porch Barber, JC, coming through, doing his work, doing his magic. Ty, you're the smart. I think you are deemed the smartest in this operation because you got accepted into Harvard. So what you were able to accomplish from the ages of 13 to 17 and 18 will warrant you being the smartest person in this group for the rest of your life.
Okay. It's a badge of honor.
Is that what the fucking government always is? The UFO thing, nothing.
Terrible.
No.
Didn't tell us anything.
Nope.
Now Goodell's sitting there, and it's still going on right now, but it seemed like there was a lot of fighting with. At one point, Dr. Fox with 2 X's.
Yep. Virginia
Fox, who I believe has been I mean, this is just judging from Book Butts cover. She's been in power for no less than 70 years.
Yeah, long time.
Ginny plays no games.
Yeah, what's that?
Nickname short for Virginia is Ginny.
Okay, Ginny Fox, Dr. Ginny Fox.
Yep.
Plays no games. She asked Goodell at one point, do you think what we're doing right now is a proper use of taxpayer money? And Goodell goes, Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me? And yes, sir, Goodell. I am talking. I'm talking to you, Goodell. He goes, I don't know if I'm in a position to tell you what you should be spending your time on or not on. And then Rep. Donald from Florida led the entire thing off. Madam Speaker, I'd like some time. Okay, time is warranted to blah, blah, blah. With inflation, oil price, border crisis, drugs that are killing everybody. Why are we spending time on the fucking NFL right now? That was how this thing started.
Yeah.
Hammer.
Order.
I would just like to know, what the fuck are we doing here? So then Carolyn, who's the head of this thing, who had a 24-year-old with a mask on next to her, who was very much pumping into this.
Hit the gavel.
Hit the gavel. I need to tell him he is out of line. You're out of line. And then boom, they go to somebody else. What is this all about? Why are we even here? Well, remember this in January. Yeah, we will. There's inside jokes happening now in this thing. What a shit show that is. If you're another country watching that, you have to think, oh, America's just one big clusterfuck over there.
Yeah.
Why is it like that? And is that how it always been since you got into Harvard? I just assume you know.
See, I don't know if it's always been like that. And to your point, too, I mean, no one is watching C-SPAN. But I do remember from, like, you know, just like the steroids, like the baseball hearings and stuff like that, it feels like when you used to see it, it was much less adversarial. Like, they were actually there till it's like all the fire was going at whoever was in the hearing and who was kind of standing up for whatever had happened. Now they just can't wait to pick each other apart. You know, I mean, 'cause like you said, that's not hyperbole. You're not being, you know,
what I said is what they said.
Four consecutive people in a row. Again, I'd just like to reiterate what you know, Councilman Fox just said. Like, they did it 4 consecutive times in a row. Like,
and Goodell's sitting in a Zoom. Are you talking to me? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to stay out of that. That's probably smart, Goodell. Hey, we should have stayed out of this too with this taxpayer. It was wild to me. They're not going to get any answers. I think the only thing we do know is that they left an open seat for Dan Snyder. It was very nice of them to do that, even with a name tag, which Rep. Donald from Florida even brought up. You have his fucking name tag here? He said he wasn't going to come like a week ago. This is all for performance and blah, 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 which is all politics is nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Everything's bullshit.
Yeah.
How come the people, and this is us diving into a world that we don't know enough about, so fuck off. I'm going to do it for the next 4 minutes or so.
Nice.
It feels like there's always people that are, you know, advocates or speakers for political movements. Like, hey, this is what should happen. This is what should happen. This is what's happening. This is what should happen. Those people, okay, always have been around. So then people get voted into positions to make change, and they think they're these people. Like, hey, no, these people are talking about what y'all motherfuckers need to do. These people that actually get voted in don't understand that, hey, you're the ones that are supposed to be doing the change, not talking about the change.
Yeah.
Like, I think there has to be two separated, like, things, you know? This would be like if a GM gets in there and talks about what his team should do, like what the pundits do about a team. Like, that team needs to get this, that team needs to get this. And then a GM comes out and says, you know, it would be nice if we got, well, it's fucking your job. Like that is what you do. I don't understand how this is what politics has gotten to. Once again, I don't know shit about fuck about that world, but it feels like everybody is a political pundit, even the people that are in politics who, hey, they're doing a punditry about you. You're not supposed to do what they do. You're supposed to change the shit. And it feels like everything we dabble with, it's all bullshit. And everybody is just talking about what should happen when the people that are in there to do stuff don't do jack squat. How is this what we have got? I understand why people get into politics, by the way, because I know nothing about that world. I understand that everybody's pissed off at everybody for everything and everybody's a better person than the other people are. But watching that is infuriating if you are a human that has a brain at all and be like, how is this our country's best fucking offer here? And it's not. It's clearly not.
All of them. It started with the representative from Kentucky, and they all basically everyone's just been like, what the fuck are we doing here? We got all these things going on in the country. Why are we investigating the Washington Commanders right now? Yeah,
it's a private entity. A couple people say it's a private business, another private business. Why are we doing that? But they knew they were doing it. So how do we even get to the point that they're doing it? Didn't somebody have the thing? Couldn't all these conversations have happened beforehand?
Oh, yeah.
Like, why are behind closed doors convos happening publicly? It's because everybody just wants clout, right?
Yeah, I mean...
So, like, this party wants clout because they want to be the one that investigated the toxic workplace, and we care about people more than anybody else. And then clearly the Republicans are like, nah, we're wasting our time doing this. There's much bigger problems that we should be looking into that actually affect the world as opposed to just what's going on in the NFL. And they both think they're 100% right, and they're going to get to absolutely nowhere other than the fact that Dan Snyder's fucking dead long before this committee even came together today. And I would assume Roger Goodell knew exactly what he was getting into. Roger Goodell comes from a judge family.
Mm-hmm.
He has been around. I think his dad was a politician. A lot of people said, somebody wrote Roger Goodell's opening statement, prepared statement. He's just going to read it. Roger Goodell wrote that fucking statement.
Yeah.
He is the lawyer that wrote that statement. That's what he is. He could go in. I wish he was live and in person. Because I know he's in a Zoom call or whatever. He was in person, though. The way he would have just played that room would have been next level. We'll talk to Tom Pelissero, I guess, about it in 7 minutes. That was a shit show.
Well, and to your point, like even the
That was a fucking shit show.
You didn't even.
the people who don't want to be there still understand, like, oh, well, I'm going to cut a good promo right here. Because, like, any average one of these, like, we're not talking about it, but it's the NFL. So, like, there are a lot more eyes on it. So guys can actually cut promos. And I think it just, like, we say it every election cycle, but the parties are so far apart every single time. Like, every year it gets worse and worse. So, like, how are they going to get anything done? Like,
Ever.
it just, like, one side thinks they're in the right, they won't budge. The other side thinks they're in the right, they won't budge. But then the people who, who don't think we should be doing this are still like, oh, I'm going to take 5 minutes and cut a great fucking promo that my party's going to love.
Well, not only my party, but also my constituents are going to feel empowered. It's just, that was a mockery of anything right there. Not that there wasn't anything that happened bad. We are not saying that.
Yeah.
No. That was a complete mockery, though. And what's coming out about 2009 about Daniel Snyder and what happened with a cover-up of an investigation and a dossier and a private ghost investigation that they hired from within and then tried to sue the person that was doing it. And Roger Goodell came out and said unprecedented $10 million fine was waged against Dan. Did we know that?
I think so.
I didn't remember that.
I don't remember that. That was 2009. I was a rookie, so I don't know if I would have looked into it or not. But, like, these types of things have happened to Dan Snyder. I don't know how this fucking guy has survived at all.
Well,
Best league in the world. Profits only going like this. All eyes on this league. Every rich human now is looking to buy a team. I don't know how this guy has survived. I have no idea how he survived.
June 2nd, it came out in all these headlines that they were fined $10 million, the Washington football team, June 2nd of this year.
So that's 13 years later?
Yeah,
right.
what?
The one representative also just asked Goodell why Dave Portnoy is banned from NFL games.
Great question. Excited we're going to get an answer for that. Did Goodell answer?
He said he's not aware of that issue.
Did Goodell answer?
No, he said, I'm not aware of that issue.
See, that is...
What are they doing?
Listen, if Prez gets back into some games, congratulations. I'm happy something happened out of this. But how is that, to a lot of the people's points, how is that what's going on right now with people that are elected officials? Isn't there some war still going on?
Oh, yeah.
Big war going on.
Yeah.
Isn't there deals being made now with terrible countries for oil
probably.
and everything like? Isn't there inflation at an all-time high where people were given money to do stuff and all of a sudden, guess what? That money is now to survive and that's probably going to go away. That's probably going to go away. The market probably going to do the same thing. I feel like a lot of people are on that side. That's why a lot of those people on that committee decided to do it. But the fact that this even took place is the problem with everything, right? If you're going to do it, let's at least get something out of it as opposed to a bunch of bullshit. It's broken. Feels like the system's broken.
And I think they did subpoena Dan Snyder, right? So it's like, well, why didn't you fucking do that last week and get him here today so that, like, he had to be there? Like, it just,
He's in France right now.
On his boat.
his
Parked
yacht.
at a resort.
Near a resort.
And
Who said that? One of the reps?
The main woman, I believe.
yeah.
U.S. Rep Carolyn B. Maloney, who is the head of this oversight
Yeah,
committee.
she is chairwoman.
She's a Democrat from New York.
Yeah, the gavel.
She wielded the gavel,
Yes.
Apparently, Mr. Snyder is in France, where he has docked his luxury yacht near a resort town. That should tell you just how much respect he has for women in the workplace. That's right. That's fucking. I'll tell you what. There's some alarming stuff coming out, though.
Yeah.
13 years it took for us to hear about that, which You know, it would be nice to hear how that was covered up for so long. How come nobody knew about it? With all the fans, investigations, insiders, how do we not find out until June? And how has this guy kept his job? How has this guy kept his position as an owner? Those are all great questions. Well, those get
none of those were asked.
those questions were asked. I don't know how.
They asked Goodell, and he just told them, the $10 million fine and the other thing. But when Ty brings up the baseball, like, that's why we're not getting anything. Because, when it was Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds and the guys who were in the report were there and they could ask them questions. Like, this is all about Snyder. Obviously, Goodell kind of is the king of the castle in the
I think
league.
you're being a bit naive here. If Dan Snyder was there, if Roger Goodell was there, these motherfuckers will still make it about themselves.
You don't think they dive into Snyder?
These people would make it about them. Literally everybody is just, anytime a microphone is in front of one of these, and this comes from limited knowledge, so I apologize. It's just feels like everything's a promo. Everything's a commercial. Everything is trying to get more votes so you can stick around forever and do absolutely nothing for the rest of your life and still get paid for it. Feels like that is what politics is now.
Correct.
Yes.
And they just said they wanted the report out, and then Goodell said they didn't, and then one of the ladies who was in the report said that they would redact their names. Is that what's going to happen as well?
So Roger Goodell said, and we'll talk to Tom Pelissero in like 2 minutes. Roger Goodell said that the reason why they didn't put out the entire report is because some of the people that cooperated for their report did not want anybody to know their names. So for their privacy, they decided not to make it all public. Now, it was an oral breakdown of what the report was. It was never put onto paper. And I'm sure that is certainly because he's a much better audio learner than a reader.
Right.
I'm sure that is what Roger Goodell was saying. But there's a lot of things that are like, well, that's fishy. That's fishy. Us not learning something for 13 years, that's fishy.
Yeah.
How does that happen? All those answers could get answered today. And they won't.
They won't.
No.
Then we'll go on tomorrow. There'll be something else that everybody's pissed off about. And they'll tell the politicians you should do something. Then the politicians be like, yeah, what they said, we should do something.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And then another thing will come.
They won't.
It won't happen. Then another thing will come. Hey, you guys should do something. Yeah.
Good idea.
That's what I'm here for. I'm going to do something. It won't. Next thing will happen. And then it's just a never-ending thing. And then when campaigns come around, it's, you should see how bad this person is and how great I am. Look what I'll do. They won't. And then it's just a continuous
Never-ending
cycle. Is that what politics is?
Kind of seems like, and then you just squeeze the congressional baseball game in there somewhere, and then let them all have fun together. And outside of that, then the cycle continues.
Remember that from
We
January.
are so fucked.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot out there.
I mean, we are fucked.
Has been for a while, it feels like.
Joining us now is a man who probably knows a lot more than we do. This guy can read a memo quicker than anybody.
Yeah, you can.
He reads memos so quick and puts them out onto the internet that we actually believe that he potentially is hooked up to a Neuralink in the back of his head where they just feed information into his brain so that he doesn't even have to read. It just goes right out. We don't know if he can read 3-4 lines at a time or if it literally is just uploaded into his brain immediately upon release. Joining us now, the arrow that is always pointing up from the NFL Network, Tom Pelissero.
Yes.
Tom?
What's up, boys?
Hey, I've never in my life had a more perfect day to chat with Tom Pelissero than today. You hear me? Today is the Neuralinks day. Today's a big memo day, isn't it? Today's a big memo day, Tom.
Feels like we've got a lot of things going on right now that have very little to do with actual football. So, yes, to the extent that that's my wheelhouse, I'm active today.
I think we got to take Neuralink out, shake it, blow on it, and plug it back in. Get you a little bit more clear. It's probably our end, not yours. Can you take the AirPods off?
Can I take them off?
Yeah. Speak. Can you hear us? Oh, no.
Tom.
Hey, we'll call you back, Tom. We'll call you back.
Play back.
The NFL Network guys in their AirPods. Happens with rap.
Yeah, because I think people tell you to do that so you cancel out all outside noise. But what happens on the other side is the AirPods are good for in-ear, but the speaker stinks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So the speaker pops and blows out without thinking it, because they're not thinking of that when they're making the AirPods.
No.
They're saying, hey, we'll cancel out all the noise. The sound will be good. But you trying to talk the other way, not going to be good. And that's not how Steve Jobs would have had it.
No.
It's
That was not
different.
his vision.
But that's the modern Apple. that we're
Welcome to
living.
the modern world.
He has the AirPods back in, you said? Tom Pelissero, what's going on, pal?
Do you want them in or out?
Out!
It didn't work.
Out, Tom. Listen, you hear that thing. Jeez.
God, Tom.
Tom, out, Tom.
All right.
There we go.
You You sound good, Tom. We apologize. I understand what you're trying to do to cancel out all outside noise and everything like that, but the AirPods speakers aren't good enough to handle how great your voice is. It pops, it does things like that. And we'd like to hear the arrow, Tom Pelissero, on this monumental day for the NFL. Roger Goodell, House Oversight Committee. Now, we're all given his opening remarks or whatever. He repeated word for word there. And then there was a big battle in the Oversight Committee about whether or not they should even be doing this. Is there going to come anything from this? And how come it took 13 years for us to find out about the 2009 Dan Snyder $10 million fine and everything like that? That seems to be a bit fishy. And is that what Goodell's going to have to answer for most in this entire thing?
Well, the $10 million fine was just a couple of years ago, but it was with regard to a variety of different conduct issues and allegations that had arisen that were part of the Beth Wilkinson investigation that had taken place and led to an oral report that was given to the commissioner, but not a written report, which is where a lot of the angst from some of the various women who had different accusations against members of the organization, including Snyder himself, that had been a point of frustration. That is a big part of the driving reason that we are having the congressional hearing today. You know, what's come out since then have been multiple women accusing Daniel Snyder himself of sexual harassment. And in the case of the allegation that came out in the Washington Post story last night in 2009 of sexual assault. And these are team employees or former team employees making serious allegations. Mary Jo White has been investigating the allegation made by Miss Johnston that came out about a year or so ago. Now you have an additional allegation. You would certainly imagine, because there was a settlement and there was money exchanged, that the NFL would be aware of that at this point, and Mary Jo White would be aware of that. But this is just all part of the pattern of, frankly, embarrassment that the Commanders organization has produced for the NFL. Now, to the extent that Roger Goodell, in his statement, makes a point of saying, yes, it was unacceptable, there was bullying, there was harassment, but the organization now bears little resemblance to that in terms of a culture, it certainly stops short of indicating that the NFL, is aggressively going to push for Daniel Snyder to lose the team or additional sanctions. But again, that's all subject to the additional investigation that's still ongoing by Mary Jo White. And when we get the results of that, she's also investigating Stephen Ross and the Dolphins right now. Whenever those come to light, there will be, I'm sure, more debate about the findings and what should be done about it.
Tom, we appreciate you breaking things down to make it easier for us to understand. And we appreciate your information. How come Dan Snyder, he's just a cockroach, huh? This guy, like, it just seems like, you know, when the Washington Post first couple exposés came out back to back, boom, what was that, last year maybe?
Yeah, last year.
2 years ago it came out. It was the narrative coming from the Daniel Snyder camp is, oh, this is somebody like Bezos wants me out so he can buy the team. Like that was kind of the narrative I feel that was being pushed. Like, oh, this is a hit. This is an attack on Dan Snyder. They're trying to cancel us. Then now, even as Roger Goodell spoke about how terrible it was and how bad everything, it feels like this has just been one of the worst places to work in the world for like underneath Dan Snyder's leadership for so long. What would somebody have to do to get kicked out of the biggest league on earth, the best league on earth, an absolute cash cow forever, the NFL? What would somebody have to do if this wasn't it? And how much of the stories that we have heard have been wrong? I don't think any of them, right? Everything we have heard has basically been accurate on that type of stuff. And how does he stick around so long? He must just have dirt on everybody? Is that what it is?
Well, the memo from the House Oversight Committee backs up a lot of the reporting that has been done and additionally adds about the shadow investigation that the committee says Dan Snyder was running, building dossiers on the reporters from the Washington Post and elsewhere, getting their private phone records and their social media activity and everything else. It's difficult. It is possible. The owners have the right that they can remove an owner. But think about it this way. There's 32 of those franchises that are available, which means you have 32 people ultimately controlling who is going to end up in those seats. And there are checks and balances. Even though teams can be sold, they still have to be approved. There's various channels by which they're approved at a league level. Obviously, the membership eventually has to approve as well. But when you have owners who are ensnared in whatever the allegations might be. And certainly there have been a number of them in recent years who have been accused of various things, not identical to what Daniel Snyder has been accused of, at least in terms of the breadth, but certainly other things. The moment that you remove one owner, that opens the door to potentially, well, now what's the standard for removing other owners?
Got it.
And so I think that there's a natural element of protection within the group. But let's make no mistake here, there are plenty of people within the league who are embarrassed by just the non-stop stuff, the reports and the allegations and everything else surrounding the Commanders. I mean, think about it. Just in the past year, okay, you have a number of women, cheerleaders, talking about Daniel Snyder had their pictures given to him. You have other former employees talking about being bullied and harassed on the job, and in multiple cases, sexually harassed directly or sexually assaulted by Daniel Snyder. You have the John Gruden email scandal that involves Bruce Allen and the nexus of that and who leaked it. That's an entire storyline. On the field, you have players punching each other on the sideline. You have
poop pipes bursting.
Jack Del Rio
Jalen
obviously
Hurts
getting fined $100,000 recently for comments that he made that Ron Rivera said were a distraction to the team. It just seems like there's always something going on. And you can certainly say, well, these are all different people. These are all different areas. Daniel Snyder, according to Roger Goodell, to the best of his knowledge, is not involved in the day-to-day right now. But it still all comes under Dan Snyder's leadership. And for 2 decades, there have been sort of one thing after another. It all seems to be coming to a head here in a way that is unusual within NFL ownership, and depending in particular on what comes of the allegations of sexual assault, that certainly will be one of the guiding forces in exactly what direction this goes from here.
I can see how the other business people who are in business together would say, well, if we set a precedent of getting rid of one owner, that could be you or me if something happens. And somebody in the room is probably going to be like, we can put a fucking Dan Snyder clause in. Listen, this guy has done more than he could ever need to do to get run out of doing business with us, which leads me to this. He's getting subpoenaed, I guess, next week out of his yacht in France next to a resort town as the gavel swinger representative Carolyn
Maloney
said. He's getting subpoenaed for next week. So he'll just plead the fifth in there? Will they fight each other the entire time like we watched today? And will they bring up all these cases plus the fact that he was allegedly running a separate book and not telling the rest of the NFL the amount of money he was making off of college games? And is that a part of this whole thing as well? And to a lot of the people's point in there, what can the Oversight Committee do other than just bring attention to this publicly? Because I saw that was a lot of the reps in there said, what the fuck are we doing this for? We got a lot of other problems. Like, that was a very real thing. I don't know much about politics. That was a shit show in there. But is that going to get brought up to Dan Snyder as well? And will they make a ruling? Or what is the end game for this entire thing?
Well, first of all, Daniel Snyder's entire history is a very litigious one. I would anticipate that he would fight the subpoena like he has fought virtually everything else, including the league, including his own business partners, including other owners, on a variety of issues. So it's not a slam dunk. There could be a procedure here that takes a little bit, but we'll see. You know, Daniel Snyder had multiple opportunities. He turned them down to talk to the committee, saying that the timing was bad because he was in France, and also that they had not turned over the investigative info that he wanted to testify. So there's still some things that need to fall in place. To the point of what's actually going to come of this, there are multiple pieces of legislation that the chairwoman Maloney has put forward regarding harassment and retaliation in the workplace. Those are, significant societal issues that are not limited to the NFL. This feels like this is the touchstone by which she and the people on her side of the aisle would like to advance some of those issues. I also watched the same thing you did, Pat. I was kind of glad that you guys called me when you did, because a guy had just brought out bar graphs. And I feel like whenever you get to the bar graph portion of the hearing, like you're officially off the rails. Everybody's gonna glaze over. I didn't think we would get, and listen, this is not a political statement. I have take sides on nothing here. I didn't think, though, we were going to get 7 minutes of ranting about Joe Biden annihilating America before we even heard from the commissioner. Like, that was not on my bingo card.
How about Dr. Fox? Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
How about Dr. Fox going, Mr. Goodall?
Yeah.
Do you think that this is a good use of taxpayers' money? And Roger going, are you talking to me? Like he did. Are you? And yes, sir. Well, I am not the person that should be indicating what you guys should be spending your time on or not time on. It was like that was a shit show.
There's a fair point, I think, in general, and I cover the NFL. I don't cover the government, but there's certainly a fair point of what should you be using at a time like this, where a lot of stuff's messed up in the country. Where should you be using your resources? As Congress, what should you be trying to have oversight over? Again, this is part of a macro issue that's really important. It's about the treatment of women. It's about harassment in the workplace. But yes, the back and forth, and the point I was going to make too, is this is just a point of scrutiny for me personally. If you're going to go on a rant about the First Amendment as a congressperson, you probably should be properly explaining what the First Amendment is. It is not about the guy from Barstool. It's not about Jack Del Rio. What he says publicly gets punished by his employer. It literally says Congress cannot make laws restricting religion and the right to assembly and freedom of speech and freedom of the press. That's what it is. So grilling Roger Goodell about whether he believes in the First Amendment because somebody got fined for something they said by their private employer is the microcosm of what's wrong with every debate that we have in this country right now. We can't even agree what the letter of the rules are that we are arguing about, and it's just this talking that back and forth thing, and this was a good example.
Tom, we're fucked. I don't get into politics much. I try because I want to have a happy life, you know? Like, I would like to have a happy life. I am not confident or comfortable in my knowledge to utilize my platform to tell people how they should think or how they should vote. Like, I think a lot of people should maybe take a little self-awareness on whether or not they're in a position to be telling other people how they should feel, okay? That is that whole thing. But we let off with this. It feels like, as an outsider looking into the political world and us having to dive into it here, and also the UFO hearing in a couple weeks, had to dive into that. There is... You know, people that yell about what needs to change, right? They, what is that? A political advocate, a pundit, whatever. Like, there's people that speak and rally for people in the political world. Then these politicians get voted in, and they become those people as well. And it's like, no, those motherfuckers are talking to you. You know, we don't need everybody to be a political pundit, especially if you're you're voted in to make the change. I said this would be like a general manager going from TV saying, hey, this team needs to add this, this, and this, and then a GM getting on TV and saying, well, our team needs to do this, this, and well, motherfucker, you're the one making the decision. It's like, that is kind of, I think, the problem with all of this. And follow up, will anything come from Dan Snyder sitting there? Absolutely not, right? Like, we're not going to get anything from this entire thing. And will the NFL ever let us know everything that's happening? And how does everybody else view Dan Snyder with any respect at all at this point, you know?
Well, Daniel Snyder rarely speaks publicly. So having him in any type of a public speaking setting, much less one as contentious as what we saw today, and being asked about things like sexual harassment and sexual assault, would be compelling just to see how he would react. Again, there's steps here in terms of the subpoena process, which he surely will fight, and whether he actually ends up sitting there, whether he says anything of substance. In terms of what comes out of and what we end up finding out about the additional investigations, I think it's fair to say that the women who have gone public with their stories and have tried with some degree of success, because we're having a congressional hearing today to get the Beth Wilkinson report released, certainly have created an environment in which, if the NFL does not put out the findings of Mary Jo White's investigation into what is now multiple allegations against Daniel Snyder himself, there is going to be consequences for that publicly. So, the NFL, and Roger Goodell reiterated the point today, even though some of the women have come forward, the NFL stance is, well, there's other people who spoke, including current team employees, who, if we put the entire report with all the investigative findings out there, then those people will be easily identified. They can be retaliated against. I'm not saying that's the correct interpretation or the correct approach, but that's what the NFL has been saying. Does that change now that everything is pointing at one person with allegations that have already become public? We'll see, and that may take a little bit of time here to all roll out.
Rep Byron Donalds from Florida, he said, me personally, I'm a Cowboys fan. So if the product of the Commanders is not good on the field, that's great for me personally. Would love to keep Dan Snyder around. Yeah. This is why does it have to be this way, Tom?
Representative Donalds is the same guy. I don't follow this closely enough. I don't have C-SPAN on in my house, but like this seemed to be his moment. He also was getting gavelled. He was getting
he led this thing
yield
up.
Your time. You got to yield back. And he goes, ma'am, you can bang that gavel all you want. I don't really care. Like that's something I feel like is like what the founding fathers had in mind. Like this is what it's going to look like. I know what Parliament looks like in the UK, but like here, like I don't think that sports fans don't often just click into these types of hearings, and then you do, and you're like, no wonder we're not getting anything done here.
Yeah, that's exactly where we are. I never did. Yeah. But all those people judge the sports world. They all think they're smarter than sports folks. Like I've obviously accidentally ended up at a happy hour where some of these fucks are and these type of people are. And the way they talk to like athletes and people that are in the world, like we're the biggest idiots and dipshits on earth. You fucking suck at your job. I don't know what your job is, but you suck at it. Everybody over there, it is. And the C-SPAN producer, whoever's putting that TV together, that's like a junior high television broadcast, is it not?
Well, this would be like, okay, so you got 3-man booths on TV, right? You got the play-by-play guy, who would be like the cheerwoman here, and then you got the 2 color analysts, and they'd be like one person on each side of the aisle, right? But it would be like if they were watching the game, and on every play, they didn't disagree with like, oh, that was a good play, bad play, you should have done this. Like they disagreed with what just happened. It was like, boy, and what a pass there by Brady, 15-yard gain. The other guy went, no, that's a 4-yard loss. Look at it right there. I see it. But that was every single play. That's where we are right now. Like that's not a political statement, but it's just like, it's not productive, man, when you can't argue on the same set of facts.
Tom.
Opinions is different. Facts is a whole other thing.
Tom, today has really been an eye-opener for me. I have lived my life with blinders on, away from that whole thing. Like, I'm just going to bebop through life without it. I can see how people will watch that and think to themselves, there has to be better people than these motherfuckers and get into the political world. But I believe it just seems like that's our system. Yeah. Like, that's just how it's going to go forever, I guess. Tom, did you get accepted? Where'd you go to school?
Boston College.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, BC.
Well, that's pretty good, right? They named the stadium after you, too, right? I assume.
I lasted one class in taking econ and then dropped out of my finance major to go to communications. 20 years later, here I am.
So you're a communications major. No offense to you, but I think we could all get through a communications.
Disregard everything else I just said. Yeah.
I saw a picture of you with from high school on Good Morning Football when my guy D-Butt was on there. You looked awesome, dude.
I think that was college. Yeah, the when in my earring, puka shell necklace, spiky hair phase.
Hell yeah.
That was something for the ages there. I believe that was one of those great off-season topics that I know you love, Pat. It was like, what's the fashion statement that you regret? And my answer was everything I did in college.
Yeah, I got so mad watching that show because, D-Butt's our guy, and his football knowledge is unbelievable. Great. Also hilarious dude. Cliff Kingsbury gives this entire soundbite from a press conference about what he was trying to do at McVay's wedding. And you guys don't even follow up with what he said. You go straight into Kyle Brandt wearing a hat, and you're like, what's the worst fashion advice ever? I'm like, my guy Darius is getting a shot to be on the fucking show. Can you not have him break down what you're doing? But I understand Good Morning Football is a good time. Good time. You enjoy that show? They're in the middle of quite a makeover right now, Tom.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's great filling in. I think me and D-Butt are out there next month in New York in studio doing it together. I don't know if
back in studio next month.
Okay.
Is that breaking?
Back. He got the call. No remote show this time. He'll be in person. Yeah, it's fun. And honestly, the producers do a phenomenal job. 'Cause, listen, you guys can talk about, the NBA playoffs. You can talk baseball. We got to find a way for 3 hours in that morning to, connect everything somehow to football. The fashion statement thing was slightly out of the box, but continuing to get that show going for 3 hours and find new ways into it is a difficult thing in the off season. So they do a really good job of just finding ways to connect it. And things have changed there. Kyle's still around. Peter, of course, is still around too. I've seen the reports that I can't comment on the new host of the show, but
Jamie Erdahl.
If that is true, they've made a fantastic choice with someone I've known for a very long time. It's a great group. It's a really well-run show. It's a lot of fun.
Emmy winner over there.
Yeah.
Congrats to them. The boys have a couple questions for you. Is that all right, Tom?
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead, Ty.
Tom, the NFLPA in the Deshaun Watson situation was saying that they're going to kind of use Daniel Snyder and how he hasn't been punished maybe in like their argument. Do you think what happens to Dan Snyder has any bearing on what punishment Deshaun Watson will eventually get?
They can certainly make the argument, and in particular because he was not charged. Deshaun Watson was not charged with any crimes. Two grand juries declined to indict him. Having said that, there's other players that have not been charged and have ended up facing discipline. Now, certainly, I mean, you can make logical connections to, in particular, Robert Kraft and what he had went through several years ago, but it's still a different disciplinary process, and it's one that's collectively bargained. So the issue is not merely fairness; it's also about what is being collectively bargained, and it's a new process. I think this is the part that has not gotten enough attention. It's not the NFL handing down discipline now. It's the NFL and the NFLPA both making their argument about what the discipline should be, and then it's a former federal judge who is going to make that initial disciplinary decision. Both sides can appeal the initial disciplinary decision. This is the first time it's happened in a high-profile case before. My sense would be that it's unlikely that you're going to see substantive change upon an appeal, that the discipline is probably going to be the discipline in this case. But it's also, outside the scope of anything that we've seen so far. The 20 civil settlements that they reached in the past several days here that were done last fall, and they just finally are getting finalized now. Certainly would advance the ball in terms of them having their arms wrapped around this thing a little bit more. But it doesn't necessarily change the timeline of when this is going to be adjudicated. I still believe we're going to know on discipline prior to the start of training camp. But getting that before the 4th of July holiday, which had kind of always been the target, may be less likely than it was before.
The House Oversight Committee ain't going to be on the same page before 4th of July. Is 4th of July even a thing they all agree on? Do they all agree on even 4th of July being a thing?
So. I doubt it.
What do they agree on, you think, over there, Tom? Anything?
Martinis?
I mean, based on that hearing, it doesn't seem like a great deal here. I mean, here's the other thing, too. So,
Goodall, they called him.
to get away from, just so nobody thinks that this is like a political thing, there's valid points made, okay, on the opposite side of the aisle from where the chairwoman is about, there's a lot of bad stuff right now in the country. There's, crises and stuff. You should address it. It doesn't diminish
the most
what we're trying
recent
to get done over here.
Pat Fallon
hearing was on the other stuff that we're not talking about, but apparently we are now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that a great deal gets done to the extent that there's real legislation that could help real people, real women across the country. To that extent, if it furthers that goal, then I would say that, yes, something can actually get accomplished.
Congressman Pat Fallon just went through a list of nicknames for Tom Brady, including the real Slim Brady, as he took his point to Deflategate for Roger Goodell.
Nice. Okay, that's a good.
This is going well.
Yeah.
This is going well. Tom scratching his head. This is a joke, Tom. This is a joke. You know how people are embarrassed around the NFL about having the Commanders in there? And by the way, us as stewards of the game, we are as well, because we got to talk about it every single time this dude's fuck up comes to light in the past. We have to talk about it, so it's a little bit embarrassing. I'm embarrassed by what I've seen over there.
Yeah.
By the adults that act like they're smarter and higher and mightier than all of us in the way they're handling themselves over there. They need to get off those high horses.
Yeah.
They need to get off those high horses over there. You ain't doing fucking shit. You guys are just wasting time. Connor, your question for Tom Pelissero.
Yeah, Tom, between this Commanders investigation and the Gruden investigation, is there anything that could actually happen to Goodell, or is this mostly based on the teams?
Well, if at some point the owners decide that Roger Goodell has mishandled things, then when it comes time to negotiate his new contract, which is probably not far away, then they can make a choice to go in another direction. That's the logical thing. In terms of actual discipline, I'm not sure who would discipline him or sanction him. It probably would be more so, if at some point there's some type of a revelation that comes to light that owners decide is a point of no return, then maybe potentially that could impact Goodell's future. But you think about some of the past crises that Roger Goodell has navigated, probably most notably in 2014 with Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson and Greg Hardy and everything that played out through the course of that season. Goodell survived that. He remained the commissioner. And I think that there's a lot of goodwill, too, that's been built up for Roger Goodell over the past 2 years through COVID to play every game, to be able to retain your revenue to a large degree, keep the thing on track, even though, there are many, many people who had a hand in that. Goodell, along with, his relationship with DeMaurice Smith from the NFL Players Association, the way those two sides worked together to keep the thing on track when every other sports league was losing games and guys not showing up and everything else. That's something that you can't, you can put a price on it, I guess. It'll be the price of his next contract. But it's something that's really, really valuable for the owners. And the only way that he would not, be commissioner anymore is if the owners, enough of them, decide we've got to go in a different direction.
I see they're trying to find DeMaurice Smith's successor for the NFLPA. You just talked about Goodell's maybe next contract. I thought he was up before the next CBA. He's not thinking about retiring, you don't think? Why would you, I guess? $60 billion, you're the head of the biggest league on earth. There's no thought of maybe another commissioner or somebody new coming in there, or is Roger going to run this till the wheels fall off, you think?
Well, the CBA expires, I think, after the 2031 season. So, yes, I would anticipate that there's a new commissioner before then. Goodell's contract, though, is up prior to that. So, does he take one more term? Is there some type of a transition process? I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I would tell you there's not a clear candidate that people within the league believe has been identified, that this is the guy, the Adam Silver, who's just going to step in and he's going to run it, and boom, we're rolling. I don't know exactly what the process is going to be. Is it going to be an NFL lifer? Is it going to be somebody from the outside? There's a lot of big decisions that need to be made in that regard. And in terms of the NFLPA, yes, they reelected DeMaurice Smith last year, but they did it with a new clause in their document, their not collective bargaining agreement, but the NFLPA document that says now it's not an automatic set number of years. They agreed that DeMaurice could get as little as one more year on his term. Now, he's already served that out, so at this point, it's a little bit nebulous in terms of what direction that goes, but there's a process that the executive committee will go through, and they'll tab the new one. And yes, in all likelihood, by 2030, 2031, or whenever that CBA gets reopened and we start negotiating on the new one, you would anticipate it's going to be two new people at the forefront of that.
Can't wait to see how that goes. Go ahead,
Tom. Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, and the Steelers had a great signing yesterday in Larry Ogunjobi, who famously threw Mason Rudolph to the ground in the Myles Garrett incident. Do you think there's any way they do a fight to the death and the winner maybe gets traded before training camp and we know who's going to win that one? So any chance Mason gets traded before training camp?
There is a possibility Mason Rudolph gets traded before training camp, and not because of any perceived aggression on behalf of or in turn to Larry Ogunjobi. Ogunjobi is a good pickup. He's a good player. He's been on some good teams. He had the injury that got red flagged by the Bears. That's why his deal fell through there. So I don't know the exact numbers yet on the Ogunjobi deal, but you would anticipate the Steelers got a potential bargain on him if and when he's cleared. It is a unique situation, but it's not the first time that we've seen two guys who have had some type of past issue between them end up on the same team. This one, a little bit higher stakes regarding the allegations of the racial epithet and everything else that went into it. But I would certainly not anticipate that Mason Rudolph is all that concerned about Ogunjobi coming in the locker room or vice versa.
Hey, Tom, we appreciate you today, man. Today was a lot to sort through. It sounds like you're trying to do the same thing we are, and you're just much smarter and better at it than we are. If any of these memos come into that brain, please let us know, please.
I will, Pat. Thanks for having me. Happy to do it.
Hey, I appreciate you taking those AirPods off. Wait till you hear this back. Sounds so much better.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, anytime. Send me something different. I'm happy to accommodate.
Oh, we'll send you a light, too. Yeah, Tom, we'll get you good. Maybe send you one of those necklaces you had on from college.
Yeah, puka.
Yeah, there it is. You're the best.
I might have one of those around here. We'll see next time.
NFL Network Insider, the Neuralink, SiriusXM NFL radio host, Tom Pelissero. Thank you, Tom. All right, hour one's wrapping up just like that. So I feel like we broke it down just as much as he did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I feel good about what we did.
Only so much you can take from what's happening.
I was going to say, there's really nothing to break down because they didn't do anything. So,
We thought this was going to be
huge. Monumental.
Oh my God.
Massive.
Fucking Goodell's testifying.
Oh my God.
Talking about it last week. Looking forward to June 27th.
Hey, and we chatted about how Goodell's going to have to dance around him. He didn't have to dance at all.
At all.
He just sat in the pocket like Kurt Warner in Northern Ireland.
That's right.
I've never
And he
heard,
didn't even get tackled.
yeah, never heard anybody call Brady the real Slim Brady, by the way. So they're just throwing in their own jokes up there.
Well, that's
too.
probably the mask character that was next.
Yeah.
There was the little assistant.
Yeah, right-hand man.
Left, I guess it would be
Left hand, yeah.
Left hand
true.
mask man.
Hit the fucking gavel now.
Yeah.
Tell me he has no more time, even though he does legally. Hit the gavel, get him the fuck out of here. Can you not hear me because the mask's in the way? Nobody else wearing one but me.
Hit the gavel.
Hit the fucking gavel. I'm 21 years old, dude. What a shit show, dude.
They should have someone on Twitter up there just so they know, like, oh, okay, this is terrible.
It's not going low. C-SPAN, turn the fucking thing on.
Yeah, cut the feed.
Do we even have a button to cut the feed with how low budget this fucking feed is?
Doubtful.
Hour 2 on the other side of this 10-minute break here on Sirius XM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio. AJ Hawk will join us again.
Ooh.
Nice.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I enjoyed Tom Pelissero.
Wealth of info.
How about him saying, like, they're not going to force Snyder out or whatever? It's like, how?
Yeah. How can
Can they do it for us? We're tired of having to fucking talk about
kidding.
this guy. Like, I like championing the NFL, and it's hard to champion the NFL whenever stuff like that continues to unfold. And information from 13 years ago is coming out that's just even worse than anything else.
And the point that they're not going to get rid of Dan because what the bar that it sets or whatever, don't do what Dan did and you won't lose your ownership.
Yeah, call it the don't do what Dan did clause.
Yeah.
Just don't steal from the other owners even.
And when you buy a team, this is what they'll say. Hey, listen, we do reserve the right to force you out of this league because it is a privilege, not a right to be in this league. That's what's told to all the players, coaches, everybody that's in there. It's a privilege to be a part of this league, not a right, even if you have a bunch of money. So if you don't want us to force you out, here is 460,000 pages of what Dan Snyder did, and just need you not to do. You can do some of them. Dan did 459,000 pages of this.
Yeah.
Just can't have every single thing this person has done. And then it's hard not to just be like, well, what skeletons are in the other closets, I guess. Then.
Yeah.
If they're scared to do this, and they don't think that they think that this would be a precedent, it's like, get them all out then. Let's get new money in there. Now, we have to remember that if somebody has a lot of money or an entity has a lot of money, there's a good chance they've been involved in something that is not necessarily morally perfect. That is something that potentially happens in the world. It's all getting spotlighted now in the golf world that we're in, but still, like, come on, man. It is a privilege, not a right, to be in the NFL, and it seems like that is a message that is delivered to everybody from the NFL, except for at least one of the owners in the NFL.
Even for him, like, why wouldn't you just, like, think he likes constantly, if he sells the team, he's rich as fuck. He's already rich as fuck. And he just, like, no one ever talks about him again. It's not like his name is getting brought up every single week. Like, oh, hey, just here's your weekly reminder. Dan Snyder's a huge piece of shit and a cockroach. Like, if he just sells the team, and obviously, he's a sack of shit, so he wants to hold on to this as long as he can. But, like, if he just sold the team, he'd just float into obscurity.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if he's like Logan Roy. Vince McMahon came in here. And he said, I like conflict. He said, like, I enjoy conflict and everything like that. He said, I get comfortable in there. I'd assume a lot of these people that have billions of dollars are big, like, don't tell me what to fucking do.
for sure.
And if you want to go, let's go. But there has to be a human under there somewhere, right?
You'd
Like,
think.
at some
You would
point,
think.
Dan Snyder has to be a human in there. And he just gets sick of hearing about himself and all of his worst things every single day. But people are politicians forever. And that's
Yeah.
a part of the game for all of them. And they make far less money. Well, from their jobs, they make less money.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which is a whole nother thing we
Facet.
can dive into.
But it's
Who's
like
in the pockets of these
when it's stuff like this, though, like these kinds of allegations, like he has a family, like he has a wife, he has kids, like don't you think at some point it's like, I don't know, maybe not, probably doesn't care. His wife probably knows he's a piece of shit, so it's like,
Maybe
whatever.
40
but
years ago.
They're on a yacht in France.
Yeah.
exactly. He doesn't care. And if Papa John's still doing interviews, he'll still be talked about.
Let's get out of here, dude. Hopefully hour 2 is a different convo. We
will
tried the politics there because we were forced to.
And now we move on.
Yeah, there's a lot of other news.
AJ's going to want to talk about this House Oversight Committee.
Probably. Weeks he might even want to.
Jalen Ramsey update. We got to talk about that. Larry Ogunjobi we talked about. Mike Tomlin's interview with the Pivot was awesome.
Awesome.
absolutely awesome. We have a couple clips there that we're going to talk about. He is the standard.
Yeah.
He's talking about the Steelers becoming the standard. In all parts of the world, a number one at McDonald's is a number one at McDonald's. Everybody knows exactly what you're getting when you get a number one at McDonald's, no matter where you're at. That's what I want the Steelers to be. When he was talking about Ben Roethlisberger leaving, the standard is the standard. Number one at McDonald's is number one at McDonald's. That's what Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be. Mike Tomlin doesn't speak in bullshit cliches.
No.
Very deep thinking. And I don't think he's ever gotten enough praise for his ability to speak entertainingly, informatively, while also not giving away shit.
Yeah.
And it is very, very impressive.
He opened up a little bit in this. It was very refreshing to hear him talk. And he speaks in his own way that sounds like coach speak, but it's not, because he explains he speaks in this way so that because he doesn't like speaking, so he does it in these little things that's, if you know him, they say a lot more than just like the 3 words that are coming out of his mouth.
Well, and if you're going to be a coach for a long time, people are going to get sick of your shit. So you have to get new metaphors, new stories, new everything. And it feels like he's gotten into his prime.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to chat about. We shall do such a thing in about 5 minutes, hour 2. We'll have Kevin Weeksy on ESPN and NHL Network, former NHL goalie pundit, to talk about the Stanley Cup champion.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Lordo is on the line.
Yeah. Go Boats.
With the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, Boats continue to bounce back in this early demoralizing series against the Colorado Avalanche. We'll find out that and more, plus your phone calls 1-833 for McAfee on 5 Energy phone line. See you then. Joining us now is a man who got to experience that at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Got to experience it in the NFL. Now he's on television. He's this man's brother-in-law. He's obviously incredibly handsome. Ladies and gentlemen, Brady Quinn. Yay! Holy hell. Jesus. You look like that all the time.
I don't know if you guys can see what's behind me. I think AJ might be more familiar with this picture. So hopefully AJ can elaborate or add some context to all of this.
Is that Chopper up over your left
That's
ear?
Chopper. Yeah, that's
Wow.
Chopper.
AJ,
How'd you get that in your background?
what happened here? So,
Well, this is a golf cart submerged.
why are you fully dressed underwater?
Thank you, Brady. Okay. Brady, yeah, you gotta. I guess we have to mention it, Brady. This is Pat. You know, this golf cart. The e-brake just didn't work on me. I was parking close to the green. I rode that joker right into the pond because it took a hard right turn. This was like 12 years ago. I jumped in instantly. Oz is the other guy looking for his cigs. There was no help. And then Brady and Chopper were in my group. They came up about 10 seconds later, and they both just dove in instantly and started helping.
Yeah. So you, hold on,
We
Brady.
did not finish our round.
You drove this cart directly into this pond.
Well,
You are a fucking menace behind the wheel, AJ. You drive with both feet. You sleep. Your hands are all deformed because of your broken fingers. You're driving golf carts into ponds. Straight up. Are you blacked out drunk in this thing?
No, I wish I was. That's the problem. I was not.
Sober.
Oh, my God.
This guy. I was trying to get there.
Brady, how do you let this guy marry your sister? How do you let this guy marry your sister, Brady?
Let me add some more context to all of this, okay? This is at Rattlesnake Ridge. This was the first year, our first fundraiser for my foundation, the Third and Goal Foundation, which helps support wounded vets. So
Great
AJ
cause.
was kind enough to come out and obviously support the cause. Now, I guarantee you he was not sober for this because we actually took a party bus to Rattlesnake Ridge.
Oh, AJ, boozing and driving.
No one was sober at this thing.
What I'm saying is, I played many times with many more drinks in me and didn't wreck a cart, is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right. Chopper hopping in there, though. Is he a scuba diver?
Well,
He dove to the bottom and grabbed some clubs.
He did. He said all you had to do was open your eyes in that murky water and you can find whatever you need to down there. All those eyes were burning afterwards.
Nick is the founder of the club. Country Club Nick has performed wonderfully this evening. After you, sir. That's a par. With the touch. And the make. Are you kidding me, Foxy?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. It is a glorious Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022, and Sports Talk shall continue right now.
Let's ride.
Hour 2 here is going to see the return of a great. Because although the Toxic Table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor have been here every single day we've been live over the last few weeks, obviously, and at Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys, he has been here, and all the boys in the back, aside from Gumpy who got deported, obviously.
Right.
And we hope his love stories come together. Joining us now, making a rare appearance here in the middle of the summer, is a former college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, private plane survivor, and a man that's going to break down the House Oversight Committee hearings today on Roger Goodell. Ladies and gentlemen, the face of Ohio. Ohio State just got the trademarked for the Ohio State. That is an actual thing that happened in the world today. AJ Hawk. AJ, welcome back.
Wow. Yeah, good to be here. How you guys doing?
God, it's good to see you, man. Feels like we haven't seen you in forever. So much has happened. How are you doing? How was yesterday?
I was good, about 100 degrees, but had a little slight breeze, and I bombed a few drives and hit many out of bounds. So, yeah, it was a golf day.
First time picking up the clubs in some time. How do you feel going into Tahoe just a few weeks away now?
I feel like my game is really rounded into form. I'm trying to really bring it out of the pocket like you've been teaching me, like I'm watching your film. But I did watch your guys' little highlight film you put together there during the break after Zito brought me on. You guys all have good swings. Nick, Evie, you guys all look like golfers.
Well, Nick's a country club guy now. His country club is so nice.
Really?
So nice. I mean, I helped build it with my money.
Sure.
Nick's money has got him in there.
Thank you, Pat.
No problem. I was a member there for a few years, never went. They did a full upgrade, I guess, on everything there, including the course. It was gorgeous, beautiful. Should probably become a member again. I'll never go, though. It's whatever the case.
Welcome anytime.
Nick's the only Italian there, I think. I think he's the first Italian ever there.
That place stinks.
Well, it's awesome, man.
We're breaking barriers, Stone.
Yeah, he's breaking.
Well, this city stinks because it doesn't have any Italian, so I'm not surprised.
Well, Nick got really good at golf, though. Like, Nick is, from a few months ago till now, Nick is a much better golfer. Foxy grew up on a country club. We got to remember that.
Yeah,
so
true.
he's had a golf coach since high school.
Sure.
So if he hits something
Good
bad.
for you, Evie.
I've never been to a country
That's
club
not
until
true.
I went to Nick's. Never had a swing coach my whole life.
You run the
No, you
golf
didn't
team.
have golf coach?
Golf coach.
No, didn't. The golf coach literally said, "Oh, you have a slice? Oh, just aim a little bit more left."
Oh,
I
okay.
taught myself.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Okay.
Bubba Watson, whatever the case. No, Foxy, great golfer. Foxy's very good golfer. He plays like a 90-year-old man, but he puts up great scores.
He hit it like 190 down the middle every shot.
He uses a 2-wood off the deck. He wouldn't even use the driver. He did bust out the driver late in the round. Did the same exact thing as the 2-wood. I don't know why we haven't just tried to work on that. But he's just a steady golfer. Steady golfer. Here we're doing that. And that's how you're supposed to golf, I think, AJ.
No, that is absolutely. I mean, sure, you can golf however you want, I guess.
legitimately upset at Foxy's
Yeah. Immediate no.
I mean, because you're not 85 years old yet, man. Come on, you're like 12.
It's way more
Foxy.
fun to hit fairways, to hit greens, two putt, and get pars.
It is. Then searching for balls, hitting out of the heather, everything like that. Like at Tahoe, we'll get a practice round, that Thursday?
Yeah, it's like a pro-am day. Yeah, you get to see the course and play it.
Will I be with
Shamble.
you? Will I be with you that day or no?
No, you'll be with a group, probably like 4 other people. You play a shamble, they call it.
You'll love that.
That sounds fun.
You'll be there.
I didn't know that was
I mean, honestly, though, luckily, all the groups that come out to play in that are cool. Like, they like to party, they like to have fun, they like to play well.
Yeah.
Did you say, though?
Everybody's always the funniest person,
Oh, yeah.
whenever I'm around,
I thought you had to go late on Thursday, though.
Everybody
'Cause you
wants-
didn't you have something on Thursday? And you were
Yeah, you can
"Oh, we
opt
can't
out. You
go
don't have
till-"
to.
Yeah, but I've never seen the course before.
Yeah,
First
Yeah.
round.
probably do need to play it.
Probably play it.
Thielen's out there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
You can go do that and play by yourself. You can go play practice rounds with whoever you want, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
AJ, there is nothing I hate more than me being put with a random group golfer. Like, I'll tell you, I've just, the amount of money I've had to donate to people's charities because I've opted out of doing their golf tournaments because I don't want to be 4.5, 5 hours with some random group that is obviously hysterical. They are the funniest people of all time, and the amount of punter and kicker jokes that all these people have, and I did not know this was a thing. My knee is hurting, isn't it?
That's what I mean. I thought we were just going to rest.
Yeah, you don't have to play.
because-
Like,
Through
a
the
lot of
whole
people
week.
want to play.
Just because, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're trying to win the goddamn thing. We're not
Maybe
there
we play
for
next year.
Yeah, we're not. Well, we're not there for some joke Thursday. We know that.
Tell them you can't play Thursday then, man. A lot of guys want to play Thursday and play a different course on Thursday because they want to play Thursday in the Pro-Am, and there's only like 30 guys, I think, 40 guys that play in it.
Oh, so I'm taking somebody's spot?
I don't know if you're taking somebody's spot, but there's not enough spots for everybody to play.
Sounds like you're taking somebody's
I don't want to take somebody's
Yeah.
spot. First year there, what a fucking asshole. I don't want to do that.
Unless
Yeah,
someone
don't play then.
requests
Honestly,
you.
don't play Thursday.
Well, how do you
can
know that
whatever
he's
you want.
playing on Thursday if not everybody plays?
What'd he say?
Can I play the course without playing in this thing on Thursday?
I don't know. If you're playing Thursday, there's like an 8 a.m. shotgun start and a noon shotgun start. So if you play the 8 a.m. group, you have to be done at noon. That's the good thing.
Okay, that is good, actually. Get in
And
and
then
out
guess
of there.
what? Then we go out in the lake all afternoon. That's why you like to be in an 8 a.m. group. It's fun.
Okay, and that's also...
They blow a horn, and you have to run off the course, basically. They don't want it to be a 6-hour round.
Hey, that's 11 a.m. tea time, our time, when we get over there.
True.
That's fucking perfect.
Absolutely. And it gives you the whole afternoon to go swim in the lake, do whatever you want. Man.
Do they need more sponsors to get in that thing on Thursday? More companies to buy spots?
Oh, you want to buy your own spot so you just play solo?
No. What are you doing? I think
Hey, you do that.
FanDuel.
Yeah,
I think
Everything's for sale. You know that.
I think SeatGeek wants
that's true.
early 8 a.m. They want to be a part of that thing. For sure. We'll pay for them.
Yep.
They'll reimburse us.
Yep.
Sure.
Because we have the connection. That's my biggest nightmare, AJ. Oh.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but if that's your biggest nightmare, you're going to be okay.
Well, if you tweak your knee too.
Yeah, I'm a pretty fearless human, man. I think I am a pretty fearless human at this point.
I agree.
I will put myself into just death moments just to see. Like, fuck it. Let's just see how.
Then this is a great opportunity for you to grow and be like, you know what? My like preconceived notions of what this may be and what these people may be, maybe I need to give them a chance.
They're not going to. This is expensive, too. This group of people that I'm going to be with are these super yups that get opportunities. Oh, my God. I'm excited. I'm still excited. I've been training for it.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get out on that country club tonight? Can we get back out there tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back to the country club tonight. I'll start talking to more people so I can, prep for the fucking 4 hours with these people as well. So I'll start getting that whole thing done. Let's move along. Did you watch any of this Oversight Committee? And did you know that our government is completely fucked forever? I didn't know that. I just found that out.
I mean, the Oversight, I've seen clips from the Oversight Committee. I've watched a little bit of the show today and hear you guys talk about it. I wanted to know, first off, is it still happening? Whatever's going on is exactly what we thought, though. Nothing is being said.
Nothing is being said.
That's how it goes.
Bro, we were talking about this day being a massive day.
But these Oversight Committees are put in place to try to hold people and companies accountable, right? Isn't that why they're there?
No, they're just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
They're just yelling at each other. They went to a happy hour yesterday, and I think Donald's from Florida and Carolyn from New York, they must have had a disagreement over a couple cocktails yesterday because before that thing even got started, they were yelling at each other and not at Goodell. And then somebody came in from Texas. Somebody came. I mean, that was a shit show. And Roger Goodell, I thought might like stay up for this. Like this might be a worry.
Yeah.
He fucking knew he was going to walk right through that thing, right? I mean, he knew he was just going to, I'm smarter than all you. You all are a bunch of idiots. Everything's for show, and this is all bullshit, basically.
So if Daniel Snyder has been subpoenaed, correct?
Yes, for next week, off his yacht in New York, in France, near a resort town, fucking asshole.
So if he can plead the fifth, right? Can he in this committee?
So Tom Pelissero basically said he'll figure out a loophole not to go next. He'll have like COVID next week, and then the week after he'll have something else.
Monkeypox.
Yeah.
Hey, Ty was talking though. Monkeypox. Is that still happening?
They made an appearance in Indiana. I seen a headline.
Still happening.
No.
Don't fucking look at me. I think it goes through eyes.
Ty, you were saying earlier though, Pat, earlier in the show I was watching Ty say like, why doesn't Daniel Snyder just sell the squad and kind of ride off into the sunset and not have to worry about people killing him all the time? Like,
great question.
Exactly right. He doesn't want to ride. He wants to be he wants to have that, being an owner of an NFL team. It's a very exclusive club. I think he is obviously with all the stuff that has come surrounding him. He really values that. I feel like he wouldn't have a purpose if he didn't have that.
He wants to be able to do those celebrity golf scrambles.
Right.
Yeah.
Those people hang out at the field.
And they say, oh, what do you do? How do you have a couple $1 billion? Oh, I used to own the Washington football team, but they're like, oh, but you don't anymore? We don't care about you.
Yeah.
That's why you always say relative. When people say you have money, and then you're like, well, I don't know. Yeah. I've sat at a couple dinners where I might as well be absolutely broke, have $0. All those billionaires like hanging around other billionaires is what you're saying. You just got to think about he is a human in that sense. He would like to flex to the other billionaires that he hangs around. And who's his friend? There's no way he has any friends right now, right?
No, he has yes people probably surrounding him, I would guess, right? Like, what is his family situation like? How many kids? What's his wife like? Because she supposedly is running the team, right?
Yeah, a couple kids. I think we saw him down at the Super Bowl, right? Remember?
He probably wants them to. He wants the kids to take the team over too. That's another reason not to sell.
Are they 13, 14?
Yeah.
What is the legal age of being able to hand an NFL team?
18.
Wasn't that was one of the big reasons why he drafted Dwayne Haskins? I believe is because Dwayne Haskins went to high school with his son.
So you got to be a little bit older then,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Probably out of college by now.
Mm-hmm.
And for that billionaire thing, remember John Mara talking about the Giants losing?
Sick and tired of telling everybody why our team stinks at all these billionaire events I go to. Whatever.
It's true.
Nothing's going to come from this. We'll know this next time.
Yeah, we've been duped.
Somebody tell Siri to tell us whenever the next one comes that ain't shit coming from it.
Yeah.
We got duped in the UFO thing.
We did.
Okay? We know more on the internet than what these fucking people know who are supposed to be in charge of it. So we got duped then, and I think we weren't as experienced as a show or as C-SPAN watchers at the time.
Sure.
If it's on C-SPAN going forward, it ain't worth a fuck.
Pay it no mind.
Okay, let's write that down. AJ, will you remind us whenever you're back every intermittently, like a day or two, you know what I mean?
If I'm here during another oversight committee thing on C-SPAN, I will absolutely try to remind you.
Good chance you're not going to be, though, because there'll be some golf out in there you signed up. Like, my biggest nightmare is the thing that he signs up
Loves
for.
it.
Oh, yeah, fuck, you can offer off 45 of those things.
Yes, they're a good time, man.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
They have fun.
I can't believe you enjoy those things. I honestly did not expect that from you. That has to be...
Well, I have
Plus
developed
10,000.
relationships over the years.
What's that?
What's that?
You got to be...
I have developed relationships over the years with certain people that run a couple of these events. I know we're doing a Peyton and Eli thing here on early Monday Night Mayonnaise. Sorry to do that. I miss a day and I can't figure it out. That's a problem.
No, I literally was thinking, oh no, we're the Manning cast. I'm happy you did the same
I hate
thing.
it.
The same thing. Because that's a good show. That's a good show.
It is.
They are awesome. They honestly are awesome what they do.
3 more seasons.
They got to figure it out with the guests, though. The guests, they got to tell them, like, hey, come in. You got to come in and you got to go. You know what I mean? You got to go and then you got to.
You got to get guests that have actually done Zooms and FaceTimes and stuff before.
Well, don't do guests.
Or no Peyton.
Yeah.
What?
During guests? Or just...
Like, they have to, like, somebody should know Peyton. Like, I think.
Oh, no, Peyton. I
like
thought you were
should,
saying that Peyton should leave.
No, KN.
KN.
Yeah. KNOW. Right. Like, no Peyton, I think. You know, because some people get in there, they're scared, I think, to talk to Peyton. But I think Peyton would like to hear what you were saying so that he could respond, but then it becomes a full thing. And Eli's just sitting chilling in the bottom like, he is ever going to figure this the fuck out or what?
Also, I think they need to stick to guys who played football because otherwise it just turns into a podcast. Then the guy like Peyton either is completely paying attention to the game and doesn't give a shit about who's there, or they try to go back and forth and you miss stuff that's going on in the game.
Anyways, it's a great concept. It'll do well for the next 3 years. Excited about it, but we were speaking over each other. Let's speak over each other about something that is happening in the NFL currently. Jalen Ramsey had surgery on his shoulder yesterday. Should be ready before the season. I guess he played all last year with tears in both shoulders, so that should be a warning to everybody that Jalen Ramsey is going to be healthier than he's ever been. This is just like Darius Leonard, going to be healthier than ever because they found that pinched nerve in his back that was affecting everything else. Did we know Jalen was hurt? And do you hate or love these late surgeries that have been happening over the last few years? I think it's because guys think they can rehab it without having to do the intrusive rehab process of surgery. Surgery's not fun. Anytime a surgery happens, obviously you're getting knocked out, and nobody likes doing that. I actually enjoyed it the first couple times, I will say.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not like Michael Jackson where I need it every night, but I did enjoy me trying to beat the shit. Yeah, countdown from 10, you won't make it to 7. Oh, is that right? Is my first thoughts. And then lo and behold, I don't think I've made it to 8 yet.
Yeah, right.
I think they control when they want to put you out there. But that feeling of your entire body just shutting down is fascinating.
Yeah.
It's only one way to experience it, and it's through that. Coming out of it, you're a little out of it. Some people get sick. But then that rehab process is terrible. And I think there's a lot of, with modern medicine and the more things we learn about food and dieting and workouts, a lot of guys feel as if they can heal injuries that had been surgery needed in the past. Is that what happened here, you think? Because like Michael Thomas, he missed an entire season, right? Because he thought he could heal his ankle all the way back. Somebody just a couple weeks ago got another late surgery. I think this is becoming a thing, and I wonder what the cutoff point will be. Now, I'm not saying Jalen made a bad decision. Jalen's going to do whatever the fuck Jalen wants to do. Jalen's like top 5 player in the NFL, and he's a Super Bowl champ. He can do that. But I wonder if this is why the surgery's happening so late, AJ.
Yeah, I would imagine that's what it is. There's always like a different doctors and different opinions. Okay, hey, yeah, absolutely get in and fix this right away, or you have a good chance to not need surgery if you can rehab it and everything goes well. I would imagine, so the date was probably right where we're looking at, right? When did this surgery happen? A couple of days ago?
Yesterday, I think. 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm sure they said, hey, if it doesn't feel like you want it to by this point, then we'll go ahead and get the surgery so you have enough time to recover in time for the season and camp or whatever. But the fact that Jalen Ramsey was playing on whatever the torn ligaments or whatever was happening in his shoulders, he's a super physical corner too. A lot of corners don't tackle and they don't want to tackle. Jalen likes to bully people and make huge collisions. And like Jalen takes on blockers, like he's a super physical dude, which is very rare to be as physical as he is and also be a shutdown guy. That's not always the case.
Well, and think about whenever any thought we just had of Jalen Ramsey while you're describing that as him blowing somebody up or flying and using his arms to bat. Like even that motion, if you have torn rotator cuff or a labrum or anything in your shoulder, hurts like fucking hell. Like all of that hurts. Now, I kind of pointed out all the negatives of people that try to heal it without surgery and then inevitably having to get surgery and being fucked down the road. There's a lot of guys that heal shit on themselves by building up the little muscles around things and letting the body naturally do it. So I'm not saying that Jalen made a bad decision in doing so, but these late surgeries are surprising to me because in the past, the conversation about healing it without surgery, I don't think was a real one. It was normally like, hey, you're getting surgery tomorrow. We just booked your surgery. It's happening tomorrow. You should be back by whatever the date is. Now it feels like it's much more fluid, and I think that's because, what did they put in the new CBA that you have to get?
Second opinion?
A second opinion from somebody outside the building. Now that has become like mandatory, I think, as opposed to just a recommendation in the past. I think we're going to continue to see the evolving of decisions and the fluidness of how people are going to go about recovering. If he's back by the season, nobody cares. But if Jalen misses some games, like Jalen's going to take heat for this. And it's not Jalen. I don't know if it's Jalen's fault because Jalen wasn't the one that was deciding, I'll be able to heal this without getting surgery. Somebody much smarter than he in the doctor field probably helped him through this whole thing. So let's not hold this against Jalen if he doesn't make it back.
Yeah, no way, because even if he does miss a game, he'll be unbelievable as soon as he comes back. But June is just kind of late, right? Like, isn't even April?
Almost
Doesn't
July.
That feel late?
Dude.
It's got to be like it can't be the full, like, I doubt it's like the full pinning down, like, rotator cuff and everything. It's got to be a labral tear where they clean that out. Some people can play with it at times depending on how bad it may be or how painful it is. But are they saying he could be full go in like 5 or 6 weeks? If that's the case, like, because I know a big full rotator cuff, everything in your shoulder, that's like a 6 month deal.
Probably 10, right? 6 weeks till camp. They said regular season, so that's another 4. Yeah. So 10 weeks. That's a long time.
Prolong his career, though. Hang out in camp, rehab that shoulder, get your legs right, and come in the season rolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and he feels like a guy that if he doesn't want to play corner, he could transition to safety pretty.
Safety's still hitting. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck he played last year, the way he played it. Both arms.
From what I've been told, tore though.
Yeah, he must have just been, he must have been shot up so much in there. Which goes into the sacrifices guys make to play every single weekend when everybody just talks about them having a missed assignment. You're terrible, you're terrible. Motherfucker, I can't even feel half my body.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to do my best and win a Super Bowl. Shout out to Jalen Ramsey.
Also, never even like he looks like he's hurt. Like when he's playing, like he always
was he on the report?
Looked like he was healthy.
What if it was like the NHL upper body injury?
Yeah. But was he on the injury report? Because people are going to try to come after him. Oh, they were hiding this.
Yeah, but he never missed a snap, right? If it's not on the injury report, it can't affect the game. If you're on the injury report, you're allowed to get pulled from the game, right?
I don't know. How's that work?
I think that's why they always have some teams have everybody on the list, because I think that clears them for if they want to do something game day wise. If they're not on the report and they play every snap, I don't think it's a thing. I don't know though.
So I googled Jalen Ramsey injury report, but it came up that he was on the pivot in March, and he said that in the middle of the year, in the middle of the Rams run to the postseason, he sprained both of his AC joints. So.
Oh, so it wasn't a full season.
And the sprained AC joint, like AJ said, like I'm sure and you said too, because I've had one too. You just try to rehab it if you don't.
Super painful.
Yeah.
Has to hurt.
It can be super painful.
Joining us now is a man from a different sport who might be projecting a super painful collapse for everybody over there in the Mile High City.
Ooh.
Joining us now, former NHL goalie, NHL Network pundit, and ESPN pundit, friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Weeksy.
What up? What's going on, fellas, ladies, gents, boys, girls, everyone else? What's happening?
Hey, how are you? You looking
dogs, cats?
Yeah, there we go. You look incredibly fly right now. Are you in the building? Are you dressed like this all day, all the way up until puck drop? You look amazing.
First of all, thank you. I'm rocking the Pink Panther. The other day it was the mint chocolate chip. You knew what the mint was and you know what the chocolate chip was. But today, just the Pink Panther here. So, yeah, I'm coming to you live from Amalie Arena. We just had a couple hits on SportsCenter. I'll be back on with Max Kellerman. And more importantly, I'm on with you great folks right now. Yeah, live inside the building here.
Oh, we love it. We appreciate you. That place is going to be rocking this evening. We had Elliot Friedman on yesterday. Are you trying to take his biz, by the way? Insider dropping news, doing all the magic, or you guys have a good relationship?
No, man, we go way back to Toronto, same hometown, and I've known him from when he first got on the beat, because I don't think a lot of the people know he was first on the NBA beat before he came onto the NHL side. So I helped him, in the spirit of team. I shared some of my Rolodex, but he's worked exceptionally hard. He does a great job. I think the biggest thing for me, man, is just to be a Swiss Army knife. I do games, do color, do studio, do on location, break news, you name it. I love doing it all. So just like you guys, man, we just try to keep it moving.
Yeah, you're a hustler, and we appreciate it. I'm happy you've come into my life in the sports world, and we're thankful you joined us now. What did you see from the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 3 that was obviously very different from the Games 1 and 2? And is Vasilevsky going to be back, and are the Bolts going to run away with this, or is that an anomaly, you think?
No, good questions. One thing I noticed from the Bolts in Game 1, they started the game on time. That's the first thing. You guys know that as former athletes, coaches always say, fellas, ladies, we got to start on time. They did that. They were much better from the outset of the game. They also were able to get out of their D zone a lot quicker. They weren't hemmed in. They were able to get exits out of the defensive zone by way of their passing, moving the puck, and also Andre Vasilevsky's ability to handle the puck like a third defenseman. In addition to that, Vasilevsky was dirty in Game 3. He was outstanding. He was excellent. I think they credited him with 39 saves. That math was off. I had about 45 or 46.
Couple jump on a pile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he was great. And all things being equal, fellas, they just looked much faster. Colorado blew past them in games 1 and 2. Tampa certainly looked faster in game 3.
So what do you predict tonight, especially from the goalie play as well? And can you explain a little bit how much like confidence has to play a role when it comes to being an NHL goalie?
Everything, Hawker. Everything. Honestly, like I literally felt that. I felt that at 8 years old, bro. Like when I started playing. You need that confidence to make saves, let alone here on the brightest stage, man. Stanley Cup final. Everyone in the world is watching. And even if you're a great like Vasilevsky, or if you're down at the other end like Darcy Kemper, that confidence is so important. And Vasilevsky certainly was feeling it in game 3. His teammates did a much better job, to their credit, in front of him defensively. But confidence is everything for a goaltender. You know that there. Skills are one thing, technique's another thing, guts, but you need that confidence. Otherwise, none of those things come to the fore for you when you're in the net.
The other question Hawker on Hockey asked you is, how do you think tonight's going to go? I think we're all wondering that when it comes to a gambling. Are we all on Tampa?
I'm all in on Tampa in this one.
Yeah.
I think they tie it up.
Let's go Boats.
I think they tie it up. I think they tie it up tonight. I said all along I felt this was going to go 7. These are 2 amazing teams, 2 stacked teams. The good news for Tampa, though, Kucherov's going to be in. My understanding is he's playing. If you're a Bolts fan, if you're a Lightning fan, you like that. But if you're an Avalanche fan, Nazem Kadri, who was their best player all year, is going to be back in the lineup for the Avalanche. That's huge news coming to you live from Morning Skate. And then Darcy Kemper is going to be back in the net, although he got pulled last game. He's starting this game again.
Is Patty Maroon out there working on his dangles like the sick goal he had last game?
Of course he is. St. Louis man, Patty Maroon. I heard he joined the show. My boy Rufford told me that he came on with you guys, so that's good. Patty's good people, man. He's great people. Hey, how many people in the world right now? You guys know. What's the global population today? Anybody know?
8 billion.
You know who's the only person on planet Earth of those 8 billion that has a chance for a 4-peat Stanley Cup for the 4th consecutive ring? Pat Maroon.
Oh, I was gonna. I didn't know.
On planet Earth.
I didn't know. I didn't know if there was.
On planet Earth, he's the only person in the world of life that has an opportunity for a 4-peat, a Kit Kat. I'm gonna call that.
Weeksy, you didn't give us a chance to brainstorm there.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of gave us the answer before we even thought about that. He'd be the greatest hockey player of all time. He wins these 4, right?
I'll say this: the greatest one out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Whoa,
Weeksy.
The greatest one out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Nick, your question for Weeksy.
Weeksy, question for you. You mentioned Kemper's probably going to go tonight. Do you agree with that? Is that the right move? Is he up for it? We haven't really seen him face a ton of adversity other than the injury he had to come back from. Francouz looked pretty good in relief. Would you roll with Kemper again if it was your call?
Great question there.
Yeah. No, good question, man. I would roll with Kemper, but it'd be a short leash on him. And it's no knock to him. It would just based on the urgency of where this series lands right now. I would probably be a 2-goal leash if he looks quasi 50-50. But I think it's the right move. I would have started him if I was Jared Bednar head coach. I would have started him. I'll tell you why. Number 1, he's the guy that brought you here. Number 2, he's the reason you did not go into the trade market and acquire a goalie at the trade deadline because he played so well this season. Last game wasn't his best game, but prior to that, he had a shutout. I would roll with him, give him a 2-goal leash, and we see where we go from there. But Francouz is ready. He's 6-0 in the postseason. So he's ready on the bench in the event that he gets that call.
Hey, when you wake up in the morning of one of these games, are you just seeing the puck better? Do you know? Like at what point do you know? Morning skate, shoot around, warm-ups? When do you know, like, I'm seeing the puck tonight better than I maybe was 2 nights ago?
It's crazy. There's some games where the day before, it doesn't matter what happens. I knew I was on. Doesn't matter. Then there were some days where it was kind of dependent on how you felt, like in the morning skate, how you're feeling in the morning skate. It kind of would have an impact. Then, guys, to be honest, there's some games where you're just allergic to the puck. Some games you're just allergic to that puck, boy. You didn't know if it had anthrax on it. You didn't know if it had ricin on it.
COVID.
You're just like, despite your best efforts, right? Like, there's just something that would feel a hair off in certain games. No matter, your prep is always dialed up, but sometimes you just didn't have it, man. And as we say, hey, the other players get paid on the 1st and 15th too.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
They're on scholarship as well over there.
They're on Scully too.
Yeah,
totally.
Go ahead, Ty.
Weeksy, Fridge told us yesterday that he thinks Nate McKinnon's going to be big, kind of on the back end of this series. As a layman, McKinnon is kind of the go-to guy. Does he shrink in the playoffs, or what's going on here? I mean,
No.
I mean,
So
it's
prior
big
to
time
last
here.
game, Nate had, I think, the 5th highest points per game percentage in playoff history in the NHL.
History.
I think it's like
Good to know.
1.3 something points per
than
game.
Stoner.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But
much better than
here's-
Stoner.
Way
Much
higher
better,
now.
Stoner.
No.
Much better than Aces. Sorry.
He stinks. But.
No worries. But the one
The
thing.
fuck
the
are
one
you
thing I
talking
will
about
say-
McKinnon
Well,
for?
we haven't seen him show up in the finals yet, have we? Have we?
jamming
Hey,
them
that's
up.
great.
6
That's
shots.
great when you're potting
Yo.
goals in the semifinals. I'm talking about the Stanley Cup.
Oh, snap.
6 shots.
Pat's jamming him up at the line of scrimmage right now.
Yeah, you're damn
Jamming you
right.
up.
It's a little bit of a scrum on the puck right now. You got Stoner in your mind.
Yeah.
Talking about Nate McKinnon being top 5 all time. Top 5.
What a title!
Oh, that's so good.
They don't just
That's
grow
so-
on trees, Ty.
That's right. You just can't go into the orange groves down here in Florida and grab one. No. But honestly, my thing about Nate McKinnon is this. What I love about him, and a lot of people kind of quasi but don't fully know this, he's boys with Sidney Crosby. They're boys. They're from the same area back in Canada and Nova Scotia. They're boys.
Yeah, I did.
And you have to know that Nate's on that phone with Sid. I talked to Sid by text prior to last game.
Really?
If you could go to the
What's he
GOAT,
doing?
forget. He's great. He's enjoying the off season, tuning in, watching all the coverage because he's a sports junkie in general. Sid is.
Yikes.
Let's make
He's
sure
a
we're
sports
still
junkie.
working. He's still working. He's still
Not
working.
good.
He's working and watching sports.
Pasta's been skating every day.
Pasta's coming to the Pens. That's good to hear.
Nope, had a dream.
Oh, did I hear you say pasta to the Pens?
Yeah.
Did I hear that?
Yeah.
That would be juicy if so. That would be real juicy.
We'll take guess.
Is that what you're hearing?
Crosby.
That would be. I haven't heard that one yet, but that would be juicy.
Nobody's heard it. What's the deal? Anyways, let's get back to what Sid tell Nate. You think calm down, relax, just enjoy yourself. What do you think he's telling him?
All of the above. Yeah, just telling him to just continue to do what he does, play to his strengths, not because the psychological part of the game, especially for those players, you know this, elite players that perform, that are high producing players, they expect so much of themselves, and sometimes they put too much pressure on themselves, right? So maybe just simplify the game. And for Nate, because he's a possession.
What happens when you disrespect Sidney Crosby? Like
No,
that?
I just want
back.
to play more like Stoner.
I'm back. I am back in the saddle, boys.
Great news. Yeah, saddle up. Let's ride.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
So for Nate, I think the biggest thing for Nate right now is to get to the net more. Get to the net more. You know what I'm saying? He's making one move, two moves, and then he's going for three. Make one or two, shoot it, and then get to the net a lot more often. Just a little
Weeksy.
adjustment.
Hey, earlier you mentioned possibly, putting a guy in and giving him a 2-goal leash. Now, will a head coach tend to tell the goalie that, hey, you have like a short leash or 2-3-goal leash and you're out of here?
Every coach is different. Some coaches might be that forthright. You guys know what it is. Some coaches will be like, hey, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you early. However, some coaches will give it to you like that. And then other coaches, to your point and to your question earlier about the psychology and the mentals, some coaches won't say it, but you'll know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, like Vasilevsky, Vassy could let in 175 goals. He's staying in the net, and he knows that. And Coop knows that because Vassy's the best in the world, along with my man Shesterkin in New York, who I handed the Vezina trophy to last night, by the way, at awards.
Oh,
But,
you were at the NHL Awards. What were you wearing? You were wearing the mint chocolate? That's what you said?
No.
Oh, no.
Last night I was in a black and white pinstripe.
Oh, yeah. A little gangster.
Black and white pinstripe, little gangster styles. Yup.
A little
Yup.
awards night. A little awards night.
Yeah, you had to formalize it for awards. You know what I'm saying? You have to formalize things.
Did you give a speech before delivery? Like, hey, how about these drinks? Like award shows?
No. Hey, you know what's funny? You're asking that. So brother Keenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live was hosting. He was great, by the way. He was excellent. So, no, I just had my scripted stuff, which, people like us, we're not really into the scripted stuff. But, hey, for the purpose of the league, I had to do it.
That's right. People like us are not. I don't know how you did it. I've been asked potentially to do something at a similar type situation that you were at last night, and it has been a real thought. Like, this is
It's
probably
different.
only going to be a one invite thing because this is probably
It's
only.
different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But at the same time, it depends on the checkbook for you fellas too. You know what I mean? Like if the cake is right, you might make it work.
Hey, you just read that. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Totally.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Weeksy, how long is it going to take Kadri to really get back into the flow of things? And is there a chance he's kind of like Braden Point and he plays a game and then kind of gets re-injured and has to sit the rest of the cup?
Why would you do that?
I had that same injury as Naz, I played through that injury on Toradol, as you guys were talking about. I was getting my thumb shut up.
Is that the
I was getting
best?
You lucky bastard.
Oh my God, totally.
Terrible for
So
us
good.
long term, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
Terrible long term.
100%.
Man, when we were on it, it was maybe.
Yo,
That
it's
stuff was the
amazing.
best, dude.
Totally. So I had that thumb surgery. It was like my thumb ligament, and I think that's what Naz had. I think he's going to be nice tonight, bro. Like, I was just watching him out here in pregame skate. He had his legs. He had his conditioning. He was shooting. He was deflecting pucks, too. So I don't think it's going to take him that long, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be effective. And for all the great players they have, McKinnon, Makar, who won the Norris Defenseman of the Year last night, too, Makar. For all the great players they have, Rantanen, Nathan Kadri was their best player this year. He was dirty. He was dirty.
What about Jack Johnson? He's been playing pretty good, too. Nick, your question for
really
Lisa?
well. Hey, Jack Johnson's been real solid, man. He looks good on that third pair. Veteran, still mobile. He's been very good.
I think so, too. I agree. Your question, Nicky Skates?
Weeksy, how's the ice down there? We saw in Colorado the Avalanche were flying around, crisp tape passes. Seemed to be a little bit stickier down there in Tampa. Is that heat getting to the ice? How's it holding up?
They grow in the grass like the Bears and the Steelers?
Yeah, exactly. I'll take you guys down there if you guys have time.
Yes, we do.
I'll bring you down. I'll see how serious you guys are about this. You know what I mean? Like,
we're in the
let
Emily
me get
Arena
down
here.
there.
Kevin Weeks.
I see Hawker's mouth is wide open.
Yeah,
Hawker's used to. Hey,
Steal one of
this
the
isn't
towels.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
This isn't Green Bay.
Go Bolts. Go Bolts.
Today's the ATL.
Hey, the person that sits there is fucked. No towel.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, the person's getting no towel. You paid a lot of money for that seat, no towel. Sorry about it. See you later.
Hey, they better not. They're
they
not
fell
going to
in
give
the
them those things that they threw on the ice last game either. I don't see any of them in the seats for today's game.
What was that? What was thrown on the ice?
Some little like ping pong paddle things that they had. And they were throwing them onto the ice last game. So
can't have it.
Give them the vuvuzela like soccer.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we can't have nice things, right?
Vuvuzela.
You know what I'm saying? Guys, I can't bring you guys any closer to the ice level. Like, if I bring you
pretty
any closer,
smooth.
you're playing.
Looks like good pond.
It's pretty smooth.
Hey, it looks like good pond
Here's the
out there.
bony. Here's the bony, boys.
Hey! Good work, Bone! Hey, let's go, Bone! What's going on, Boney?
All right, so there's the ice conditions. See, I'm like a weather reporter. See the ice conditions? So, yes.
Walk
Here's what I'm
around
gonna
out there,
tell you, though.
Weeksy.
Yeah, of course. So here's what I'm going to tell you
Get on the
guys.
ice, dude.
I know. They have all these stupid configurations now that block you, even here.
Come on.
That block you. Yeah, in the old... It's the vid. It's the vid, exactly. It's the vid.
COVID,
Back in the day, I'd hop over here and just go out here because I played for the Lightning too back in the day. So I would just be able to just go out on the ice with you. But as it is,
Andrew Weeksy.
here's the
Weeksy said,
bench.
I'm coming home, coming home. Move the glass, I'm hopping in. All right, what else?
Totally. So no, last game I could tell you the ice was a little slower, and I spoke to some players on Colorado who were kind of whining about it, but and I understand why because they're such a fast supersonic team. But the ice looks a lot better to me today up close.
Hey, that Zamboni driver, 100% the reason why the ice would be slower, right? That person right there is in the game right now, right?
See that cat waving at you over there?
What's up, dog?
That ice guy, he was waving over there. I'm trying to get the Zamboni driver's attention again.
Go both.
But now I look like one of those fans that just slapping up the glass.
Nah, you're wearing that pink suit. You look damn good. Ain't worried about that. Weeks, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. I feel like we just learned a lot right there. It's going to be a good track tonight.
Yeah.
They're going to be flying around. That thing's triple bone, dude.
Yo, this is, man. That looks like Churchill Downs for the Derby right there. Gonna be galloping. They're going to be galloping.
All right, well, we appreciate you so much. Good luck on TV all
Appreciate
day.
you fellas, man.
We like Tampa.
Yeah, absolutely. I like them for this game.
All right. Whoa, what about the series?
I had them in 7.
Okay. That's good news.
I had
We're
I
drinking
had them in
our
7 coming in.
We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Former NHL goalie, now pundit on ESPN, NHL Network, and live on the ice, Kevin Weeks. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate you, fellas.
You too. That was awesome.
Legend.
We're on the ice.
He's
sir.
great.
We might as well be in the Stanley Cup tonight.
seriously.
Yeah.
So what time does he normally get to the arena for a game? Like 15 hours before?
And he's in his suit already.
Full suit already, yeah.
Just ready
Gotta
to
do
go.
hits, man.
Weapon.
That's like Michael Cole. Michael Cole shows up at the arenas in his full suit. You know, like he's in
I would sweat through that thing 5 times by the time puck drops.
just like that. So quick, thing would be over. He's got hits all day.
Yeah.
The week's report is happening.
He's awesome.
He is awesome. Let's get to a break. We'll answer some phone calls. Hopefully there'll be other awesome people that call into the show as well.
Hey, what's the best place to watch a hockey game? What seat?
On
the glass?
Nick and I sat right next to a bench one time. The Flyers bench. I was 6 inches away from the last person on the Flyers bench, and we were right on the ice. Shout out SeatGeek. They got us these awesome seats. That was awesome. That felt really good. A suite, though, is probably a suite is probably the right place because you're up high enough where the sound is going up over the boards, and you have enough space so you can kind of act like an asshole. But every ticket's going to be expensive in there. The suites are unreasonably priced, I will say.
Yeah, the best I've ever sat besides the suite, like down low, would be like behind the benches. Because you get a view of the bench, what's going on there.
Right
you
above
can
the
kind of
glass.
see the player and the coach is working.
Yeah,
and then
I'd
you
like
can
to see
see
that.
both sides pretty easily.
Right behind the goal seems like a good spot. They're always on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can celebrate with the team if they score a goal.
Yeah. What is
Who
this?
was that?
What the hell?
I have no idea. This thing.
Don't you pick the music?
No, there was a full change actually that was made to another.
Different program?
Yeah. We gotta go through it a little bit. I don't know what some of this is. I fucking hate this computer.
You knew one over there.
Is it a Lenovo? What is it?
Nah, it's
Dell.
a shitty old Dell, dude.
I mean, anything but a Mac is, I don't know how to use.
Dog shit.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I will say iTunes though, this thing's a clusterfuck as well. Got double click. It's not easy to read. It's not easy to use. That goes directly against what Steve Jobs has said that he would like his shit to be.
What are we doing? That's all I really need.
So I don't. We're back in 4. All right, we'll figure it out over here. We'll figure it
Think
out.
he's still alive?
Who?
Steve Jobs?
He's another guy. I thought he could rehab his way through some things.
Yeah.
And opted out of surgery. Should have got the surgery. Would have been better for all of us.
Avicii, though.
Still alive.
Why do you think he's still alive?
The way he was announced dead, where he was announced dead. I
So
don't
what's he doing there?
Lyrics in his last album.
know. Would he grow a beard?
Yeah,
Put a hat on?
running some
So
bar in
that's
Tahiti.
good. If he is alive, then he'll eventually make a comeback, I would imagine.
I
because
don't
he's
know.
passionate about music.
I don't know. They just say that all this pre-stuff was, oh, this is stored. These 1,000 songs were stored before he passed. This is his first post-mortem release. Oh, this is his 10th album post-mortem.
Yeah.
Okay.
He could blend in very easily too. You put 10 people up there, I got no idea what Avicii looks like.
Tim?
Who?
Yeah, Tim Berg. Could easily be Tuukka Rask.
Easily be pasta, too, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Not that all
We still
white-
talking about Avicii?
I don't even know what race he is, to be honest with you.
I was about to say, it's not all whites look alike, but there's a brand of whites that look pretty similar.
Where's he from?
Sweden.
Sweden?
Was he part
How'd
of
he
the
die?
Was he part of the house
He
mafia?
stabbed himself in the neck with a broken bottle.
Jeez.
See,
Yeah.
that's
Tough way to go out.
Well,
That's
exactly.
what we're all saying, yeah. In a third world country, right?
In Madagascar, in this small town, and no one had
beautiful there.
ever confirmed it. The townspeople just said it, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's dead.
It's not as if he would pay them a bunch of money.
That's a very sad way to go out for Avicii, a man who created great music, but also a blueprint potentially. If you have a lot of money and would like to be announced dead, you just go to a third world country and say something terrible happened and wish for prayers, and we will talk later.
Right off into the sunset.
See ya.
Listen to the last album.
Could you imagine being a dead person? Well, yeah, his last album, a lot
It's
of.
basically just like, hey, I'm done with being
Everything.
part of society.
Yeah. It'd be crazy. It'd be tough to be a fake dead person, I think.
Yeah.
Can't reach out to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You find the right place, though. It's like the disappearing for a while. You find the right
You got to get a
spot.
fake passport. You got to get fake everything then.
Yeah, but if you have enough money to pay off a government to say you're dead,
I don't know.
I mean, how
People
long?
speak. People like to talk.
everybody does. That's why you got to go to a third world country out in the middle of nowhere and say, you stabbed yourself.
There's still people saying they see Tupac all the time. That was in the 90s, right? Early 2000s.
90s.
Yeah, 90s.
Epstein.
Well, he just
Well,
looks
that's a whole
different
nother.
now.
I mean,
He's lying.
obviously, all these people are dead, and we would never even think that they wouldn't be, right? This is just for conversational purposes
Correct.
only.
That's right. Yes.
But with the way surgeries are now,
Oh yeah. Face off.
Especially when you're a spy.
well, that was at the end of that Peacock documentary.
Yeah.
They just dropped that in the end. All right, we're back in 4 minutes. the less I know, the better.
Exactly.
Especially after watching that House Oversight Committee. I need to not look into how they operate over there.
Yeah, go Boach.
I will get so pissed. Did you see the ineptitude in that fucking shit? That's how our country's run. Did you know that?
That's why it feels impossible for anything ever to get done. Like there's 17,000 steps and just wasted time.
If any business was run the way that they were run and had the lack of any success or progress at all, they'd be buried by every human on earth if they were in the spotlight. They do it and it's like, well, they're all better humans than everybody else. What the fuck, dude? What the
civic duty. You should run for something.
No way. If that's what I'm gonna have to deal with, no fuck. You'll find me in Madagascar.
Yeah.
We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. See you then. Bye.
So I'm going to give my weekly story when Pat comes on.
Yes.
Here we go.
So this is my bedtime story right now.
There's a couple refs that you just have it out for, or they have it out for you. And I'm like, before the game, I get the paper, I look, I see who the referees are. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get a penalty called against me for sure in this game. And so I'll just say this: Bill McCreary. Where
Wild Bill.
We
Wild
fucking
Bill.
hate that guy, dude.
No, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. And I run into him actually in Pittsburgh all the time. So I'm playing in New Jersey, and Bill, there's like a whatever. The other team trips one of our guys, like a blatant call that's missed. I stand up on the bench. What you do just to be an asshole? I stand up on the bench, take my stick over the board, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can hear it through the arena, right? Just boom, boom, boom. Like, come on! It shows them up, right? Come on! And all of a sudden, I see Bill just look across. He goes, boom, and he's got like this heavy mustache, like this. His mustache, he's just eyeballing me across the way. And he looks at me. I'm standing up. I'm banging my stick. I'm like, fuck you, whatever. So then the play goes on, and I'm tying my skates. I'm on the bench. I'm going like this. I bend down and tying my skates. So like the top of the boards is right here. My head's down. TV timeout. All of a sudden, I hear, shh. Someone stops right here. And I look up, and Bill McCreary's like eyeball to eyeball with me. And he goes, are you showing me up? You want to fucking go? You want to go? And he goes like this. I swear to God, he goes like this. He backs away from me. Let me grab my mic. He backs away from me from the bench. And he goes like this. Come on. Come on. And I stand up and I go, Bill, are you challenging me to a fucking fight? I'm like, you asshole. You think I can't? If I fight you, I'll never play a game in this league again. He goes, let's go. Come on, let's go, tough guy. And I'm like, my mind is going like in circles. I'm like, do I fight this guy? Like, I'm not, what am I supposed to do? Like, I was like, and like he totally won. He totally won. He knew I couldn't do anything, and I'm just like, I just got by. I was like, you know what? I'm like, fuck you. And I sat down, and then it was like, I was like, he totally just dominated me right there. And then the next game we played, I was taking the opening face off of the game. He's dropping the puck. He's standing there before the puck drop. I look at him. He looks at me. I look at him. He looks at me. And then finally, I go, hey, Bill. I go, Billy, let's bury the hatchet, man. I'm sorry. I got away from myself last game. I got away from myself last game. Like, this isn't, I don't treat referees like that. And he goes, no, I did too. I let the heat of the moment get the best of me. All right, man. Truce. All right, cool. Truce. Drops the puck by the end of the first period. We're fuck you.
This seems to be a thing with you.
I run into him all the time. He's a great dude, but that's how it is, man. He's got to fight his fights out there too to save face.
Oh, Rob.
Should I have fought him? Hey, probably not.
I mean, pretty good content. You fight a ref, but also like probably banned forever. I assume.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so we're going to do top chat on the hockey net, okay? Upper 90 in soccer, top chat in hockey. That seat is in the way, so if I get a pass, it should be pretty good. This is a great way to kick off a weekend, huh? This is for the soccer, all right? Because we're winning the soccer Lombardi and get through. That's effective, too. Have a great weekend.
Most guys have tried different ways to last longer, but thinking about how many Lordos Patty Maroon has won doesn't always work.
3, it's pretty... I mean, it is a lot of Lordos, but also pretty quick. Think about it.
Could be 4 soon. That's why the folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes, the secret to longer, lasting sex. Roman Swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast acting. Most importantly, they don't require a prescription. Go to GetRoman.com/Pat and get $10 off your first order of swipes plus free 2-day shipping. GetRoman.com/PAT.
Welcome back to the show. Shout out to Roman, huh?
Thank you,
Roman.
You okay?
What's wrong?
Swallowed a bug.
Yeah.
You have COVID?
Huh?
Again? You have your 3rd breakthrough COVID case?
Come on. I won't get it 3 times.
No. Allergies. Pollen's high today.
Oh, we'll get it 3 times. You know, that's something that has happened to people. Shirt that is 15% off today. Dirty's pick, I do believe. Is that what I saw?
I think so.
Store.PatMcAfeeShow.com. Oh, the Pat McAfee Show, black with the color on side of it. It is a good shirt. It's a great shirt. Fox is currently wearing it right now, actually.
Love it.
That'll be Fox. Now, I have realized with this one, don't expect that to live forever.
No.
Right.
That's probably going to become a weathered.
This is a couple washes in. It actually looks better than I thought, to be honest.
That's only going to make it one more wash.
Still a great
you
black
might be
shirt.
right.
Great shirt.
It's a great black tee, though.
Exactly.
Hey, I've been trying to transition back into shirts with sleeves and stuff. I don't like it.
What don't you like about it?
I just don't like it. Like, I had to
You
wear
have like what's it called? Bert Kreischer talks about it. Why he doesn't like to wear a shirt, like a tactile issue. Is that what you have?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like you don't like the feeling of fabric on your arms.
Yes. I feel like I'm being rear naked choked by Shayna Baszler. That's a submission magician.
Yeah.
Queen of Spades. Yeah. It feels like that's happening to me. When the other day I had to wear a polo for Nikki's country club. I couldn't have rolled those sleeves up faster to get up here. Like, I just can't. Will they let me wear this tank top at Tahoe or no?
You could. I'm sure you could. Larry the Cable Guy usually wears like a camo cutoff.
What if we put a collar on the tank top?
Sounds like it'd be
That's what I'm saying. Put a collar on it.
That's what I did when Chuck had his rules for what you could wear on a plane. I made a shirt. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I think we adopted to the tank.
Yeah, I actually I had a fashion person create a T-shirt that had a different collar, at least 5 buttons on the shirt, because he was trying to basically make rules so people wouldn't wear a polo. So I had this T-shirt that I had somebody sew on a collar, 5 buttons, a big collar on it, and then the edge of the the edge of the sleeve or the end of the sleeve had to be different than the main. So basically, it was just trying to do away with anything. Had this T-shirt with a band of like some sort of satin maybe that made it like that. So I had this T-shirt that had 6 buttons on it, a collar, and an elastic band around the side of it. Wore it every single game. Chuck I think Chuck's first thing was, why you got to be an asshole all the time? And I was like, looks pretty good, actually. I should sell these shirts. I think this is something I should get into. Almost thought about creating a business. Then everything fell apart like 2 or 3 weeks in.
Sure.
So obviously I had to make new ones.
Right.
So I have like 4 or 5 of those sitting at the house. And that's what I think we should do for the golf game.
It's not a bad idea.
Perfect. How do you put a collar on that tank top, though?
Come on. Just put that thing up like somebody has a hood. Go right across here.
Mm-hmm.
And just have that thing just sit real wide open.
Yep.
Maybe like a cape. It sits like a cape across the top.
Vampire.
Whatever. I mean, it's just comfortable. Fucking why?
Or just cut the sleeves off a polo. Can't you do that?
Listen, if Larry can wear fucking camo, no sleeves, I think you're okay.
It's my first year there.
I don't think the rules are. They never say like, hey, I don't know if they've said you have to wear a collared shirt. They say, hey, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you need to wear pants. That's all they really say.
You got it. No problem. I wore pants for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's right.
Easy.
You don't have to tuck your shirt in either. I know you were worried about that.
Okay, that's good news. Yeah, I was trying to get in shape. I've been pretty strict ketoing here last few days. Feel like I'm almost hitting ketosis. What's that, AJ? What are you laughing about?
I just love how, like, when a deadline is coming, 7 to 8 days out, you are going to hit it hard.
Yeah,
I'm locked in too.
It's a good quality to have. When you need to, you can just bear down and go after it.
That is kind of my entire life now at this point, how I've kind of gotten by. Like, hey, there's something that needs to happen. Okay, has to happen. Let's do it. I have the ability to commit in portions. I can't do my entire life to this diet thing, and I don't understand why. I'm fucking done with it. What's the deal? Just be a healthy person. I won't. I'll never be. I was talking to Jay Cutler earlier. I'm on his podcast. I don't know when that's coming out. And I talked to him about how I love fucking food. Like, I love food.
He's diabetic. He had to make a big change too, didn't he?
Oh, I didn't bring that up. Jesus. A little selfish of me. We're having a full conversation about food.
He would have brought it up. He didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Smart HIPAA. You don't want to bring it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, doctor-patient
confidentiality. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. Just like Roger Goodell.
Fine.
Back in 6 minutes with another riveting hour 3, I assume. This show. Had no idea the hour was ending. Obviously, great hosting, but we got there. So I'm going tank top then. I'm going tank top pants.
You're going to go like a Mania tank top too? Like a Tahoe tank top? Maybe some customization on it?
Put a little patch or two on it.
Yeah. Bring those to SmackDown and see if she can help you out.
They're great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Terry?
Miss Terry, yeah.
She's got to do like fucking costumes.
True.
Hey, is there
Are you going to wear the rhinestone one?
This isn't for tonight.
That one's in a case.
Yeah, that's the Mania one. This is
Your
Tahoe.
case or like WWE case?
My case at the house.
What about this? You could wear the singlet that you wore under it.
I don't know if I'll ever wear one of those again. That was very
How
uncomfortable.
weird was that?
Just, I felt like I was losing a ball every step, you know? Like, because I've worn like the Under Armour underwear since the first day I was introduced to them in college with Nike. I think the Nike tights. I've worn those literally since the first day I found out about them. I love them. For big leg dudes, I think it's been very difficult to find boxers, briefs, whatever. So those have always been something I worn. So I just assumed that the singlet would be the same thing. But it forces things into different parts than the tights do, you know? The tights have a little bit of a, hey, we're looking for you to go this way, to the balls and to the dick. The singlet does not have one of those. No. It is that thing
just
was
tries to jam them up your butthole, doesn't it?
Bro, it shoot it in between my thighs like every step. I had the Lance Armstrong thing like I thought I lost a couple times throughout the day. I was doing the old
would it be worth it
shimmy.
if you? Would it have been worth losing a ball to do what you did at WrestleMania and chug beers and get stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin?
We'll never have to know because I kept both balls that night. So.
Congrats.
I don't like to dive into hypotheticals, but if I did lose a nut that evening, I think I would have been okay with it because the story, oh yeah, this is the last night I had 2 balls in my body as well. Had to drink with that whole thing. Yeah, I would do it again, I think.
Charge it to the game.
It hurts though when that thing, you think you lost one?
Oh, yeah, no thanks.
I don't know if that's something that people experience on a regular basis. I do. It is a nightmare.
You routinely think you lost a ball?
Dude, my thighs have touched since I'm 11 years old.
Yeah, of course. I know. I get chafe zone I use my whole life. Yeah, my legs.
Yes.
When I walk.
That might as well be beef jerky now in between there for my legs. I assume the same for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Forever.
But yeah, if you're ever doing something, there's a chance that the kit and caboodle are going to fall, and then all of a sudden, boom, figure 4 leg lock. It's like, oh my God. And then, there's a full, this move is one that I have, come on, let's get back out there, guy. Thank you. And then just kind of go about my life. The singlet was trying to get me to do that. I think that's the singlet's only move. The singlet says, you can wear me, I might help, but at some point in the night, you are going to do, come on, gravity, help me out here. There's a lot of that, AJ. So, no, I won't wear the singlet again. Thank you for asking.
I thought maybe it'd be a nice little added addition, like this is like nostalgia in Tahoe. Like, hey, this feels good. I win when I wear this singlet.
If a company that enjoys buckaroos, kangaroos, makes it and has a patch on one,
sure,
I will wear.
Okay.
Until then, I'm out on singlets.
Yeah.
A pouch, not like a pouch like a fanny pack, like a pouch for your balls and shaft.
Thank you, AJ.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I imagine there's many companies that will be coming after you. You have a large platform here in this program.
Listen, we're thinking we'd love to display the cock and balls.
Good idea. It'd be easy.
With our singlet. All right, let's get out of here. We'll be back in hour 3 with sports talk, but I can't believe I'm going to wear a tank top for this thing.
I know. It's awesome.
Didn't know I was doing like a, golf outing thing. That'll be fun. I can't wait to meet some people out there.
Yeah. Hey, there's a time limit on it.
That's your uniform.
That's big.
It's gonna be great. Hey, great! It's an honor to be here with you guys. Oh, that's awesome! I can't believe.
I guarantee you, all 4 of those people will leave and be like, "Man, we are best friends with Pat McAfee." Like you're great in those situations.
Yeah, well, it's a nightmare though the entire time because then I have to have a relationship with said person forever.
Well, you have Connor with you, right?
I was just actually gonna say, don't you have a card at least?
Yeah, he'll be with you.
Do I have a card?
You can take a card on Thursday. Yeah.
No, I gotta walk.
Get used to the land.
Yeah.
All right.
Because if I'm gonna have that cramp of everything, it should be before the tournament actually starts. Let's get to the next day. If I have so many cramps that I can't walk, will they let me use a card? Will I get an exemption Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I have not seen that happen, but people have definitely gotten IVs after rounds and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we doing that?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to bring him in and deal with all of that if we bring him into our place. I think that may cause some issues.
The whole needle deal and people deal.
Well, I'm sure you guys will be. Yeah, because never mind.
We'll see.
I'm gonna be doing Wim Hof in the lake.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we'll use the lake.
We will.
Hey, bring your little scooter thing, man. We'll use it in the lake. Your underwater scooter thing.
That you got me?
Yeah.
I almost used that in the pool this past weekend.
Aaron has one too that I got him. We used last year in Tahoe. It's kind of fun.
Okay, I'll bring it up. I mean, it's
we
gonna take
can
up a
hold
lot
both
space
of them,
in my bag.
one in each hand. Think how fast you'll go, one in each hand. You'll be zooming through that lake. You may ride to the course underwater with your little scooter.
2 dolphins taking us around town. All right, hour 3 on the other side. This show fucking stinks, but not as bad as government is.
That's right.
Yeah,
true.
No.
Back in about 45 seconds. Cheers.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. This is really one of our best ever. It's Wednesday, June 22nd, and the fact that you're still listening is truly fascinating. Hour 3, let's get started.
Let's ride.
That's the talk. Okay. All right, we're all doing it. I like that. Toxic Table here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Tone Diggs is here to my left. You're right on the screen in an attic in Ohio. AJ Hawk back from his 3rd vacation.
Hey, that baby AJ.
Back from his 3rd vacation. Who'd you raise money for yesterday, AJ? What'd you do in the golf outing out there?
It was a big thing for Walgreens. Does this event every year?
Oh,
I've been a part of it
wow.
a few times.
You guys, you like Big Pharma, huh?
Is that what it is?
Sounds like it.
You tell
Well, my
me.
other one, I'll be missing the show tomorrow. I got a Pfizer outing, so sorry to tell you that.
Figured.
I know Tone Diggs is probably playing in it too.
Yeah, make sure you get your.
I think there's a Johnson & Johnson one.
Make sure you
on
get your
Friday.
newborns to 6-month-olds vaccinated.
Tony.
What? What's wrong with what he said?
What are you talking
I
about?
just,
Make sure you do.
Connor, what is your reaction?
Why are you talking COVID-19 vaccines?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Isn't that something that's happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to be doing that though. But
Here we go.
Oh, do you know Connor?
Yeah, I do know. How about that?
Did the memes that you read on the internet give you all the information?
Yeah, and from what we saw today on C-SPAN, the memes are at least make more sense than they do.
That is a fact. Dr. Fox plays no fucking games.
Yeah.
They actually say on the Hill, hey, she's not foxing around whenever she gets in there. That's with 2 X's, not just one. She brought the...
Not foxing around.
Nope. She was.
Let's talk about sports. Mike
Thought we
Tom.
were.
Well, I guess because Roger Goodell did appear via Zoom because he couldn't make it to D.C.
Did
obviously.
they call him the wrong name? They call him Goodall?
Yeah, it's not foxing around. Dr. Virginia Fox said, Mr. Goodall, and then read an entire thing about, the world that we're in right now and everything that's happening, and then asked Commissioner Goodall, if he thought that this was a good use of taxpayers' money. And Roger Goodell had the perfect response to that, because that could have gone a bunch of different ways. Because he could have grandstanded there and almost got a presidential bid nomination if he wanted to in that particular case. But then he would obviously lose his $60 million a year contract with the NFL. But him laughing and going, are you asking me? I don't know if I'm the right. I'm currently the one giving testimony. I don't know if I'm the one. It was just a shit. Never mind. If Dr. Virginia Fox is on the case, though, I think it'll all get figured out.
Absolutely.
The Pivot has been on an incredible run of great interviews. And although they gave us a strike because of an auto strike just yesterday with something we were talking about with Garrett
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson's rookie dinner, they had a conversation with Mike Tomlin that dropped yesterday. And we are all massive Mike Tomlin fans. And the more Mike Tomlin the world gets to hear, the better for the world and also better for the conversation around Mike Tomlin, who has been a very successful coach at the highest of levels. His attention to detail seems to be something that's never talked about. The amount of respect his players have for him never gets talked about. And his diligence to remaining this committed to competition is absurd, because the amount of time that coaches have to spend away from everything to focus on football, especially in a city like Pittsburgh, is next level. So he gets nowhere near the amount of love that he deserves. And he did an hour-and-a-half conversation with the Pivot yesterday. We're only going to show a couple of the videos. It is definitely worthy of watching. There's a couple here where he talked about being a coach in general and how he views it versus how some other people might view it.
What'd you just say, Coach? I love coaches that resist the responsibility of coaches, that talk negatively about a dude that can't learn and blah, blah. Man, if everybody could learn, we need less coaches.
Yeah, that's real.
Right? If the group didn't need management, then we wouldn't make as much. Yep. I love reading draft evals and somebody's talking about anything other than pedigree, talking about how poor somebody's hand usage is. Well, that's coaching. I don't run away from coaching. I run to coaching.
Love it.
It all is in line with that not seeking comfort. Because when you're a coach that's talking about somebody can't learn, you're seeking comfort because your teaching is struggling.
Yep. Wow. To that point where you see talent and then you can develop talent. But then there's guys that's not gonna make it, bro. Like, how long does it take you to watch a player and be like, he needs this, or he is not NFL material, coach? Like, we know it's 1% of the 1%. Like, we luckily I don't luckily, because everybody work hard, you know what I'm saying? But so you look at a guy and say, I can make him, or he can't play in the league.
I think that there is no cookie cutter for that timeline. Mm-hmm. But when you're out of time, we all know it.
Yeah.
Hilarious. You know what I mean? And so I just go hard all day until we at that point where we know it. Mm-hmm. And when we're there, we all know it. You just never know what it is. And sometimes the reality is it's got nothing to do with the person we're talking about. Sometimes it's what's going on around them. Sometimes what's going on around you buys you time. Sometimes what's going on around you chews up your time. I just think that that's why we all better come with an edge every day, because that's the component of it that we don't know. I think that's what allows me to stay knuckled up, man, and go into work every day with the resume that you speak of.
The resume, I think the resume that we speak of, it's a hell of a resume.
Yeah.
And we talk about.
You're talking about one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL. How long has he been with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
16, 17 years now.
17 years, never a losing season. A lot of different seasons with a lot of different things that came about, always having a winner. Him breaking down other coaches, saying, oh, this guy isn't coachable or this thing stinks because it makes them feel better, is a hilarious thought. And I didn't even think about coaches who have that real feeling where they're not trying to make an excuse for somebody that isn't good. They're saying, well, I'm just not coaching right. He also went into how he's got to be vulnerable to guys. Guys got to learn about him if they're going to trust him with anything. He just seems to be completely committed to making every player better. And I think he should talk more, AJ. I think this guy should be speaking much more often.
I hope he does, like, as he gets older and older, continue to talk more, because this is stuff that I would imagine the Pittsburgh Steelers players and coaches have heard day in and day out. Like, and another thing that Tomlin does too, being a great leader. Like the dude he's the example of what a leader should be. I feel like how he is constantly evolving. He talked about being vulnerable to his teammates too. Yeah, like that's the one thing people love to talk about. Like if somebody is a big time person, the head, the boss, whatever they are, if they show any kind of vulnerability and show people, hey, I'm a human, I think instantly everyone relaxes. Okay, cool. Like I understand. I feel like this person is on my side. I feel like they're a real human. It's not a robot. They want the best for me. And I think it's just awesome. It's cool to hear too. Like he's so pissed about coaches being lazy. That's what he's saying. Like I'm sure he's had assistants tell him that. They draft somebody. He's like, hey, this guy just don't listen. I try to tell him, hey, your hands, you got to have thumbs up, hands inside, strike the chest plate, and his hands are outside. And Coach Tomlin's like, cool, bud. How about you get his hands inside? That's what you get paid for.
Hey, how about you figure out a different way to fucking tell him how to get his hands inside? Because he has
That's what coaching is.
He has the ability, he has the pedigree to be a great player here. If he's not, that's 100% on you. I like that ownership, though. Because sometimes there's fake ownership, right? Like, oh, I should have coached it better. I should have done that. They say this one's on me. And it's not real. And everybody can sense it.
I hate that. That's the worst. They tell the media, hey, tells the team we've talked about on here, this one's on me, guys. I'll never let that happen again. Okay, that just means we're doing hamburger drill all week in practice.
Yeah, I must not have been able to coach properly, and everybody knows if we're out prepared, that's because of me. We thought we put in everything, so we must not have coached it that well. And that's on us. We'll get back to work. And every player's watching it like, oh, shut the fuck up, dude. All right? It was a bad game. All right? But Tomlin has everybody's respect. Here's another one from his sit down with the Pivot, which once again we would all recommend for you to listen to if you're an NFL fan, not just a Steeler fan.
Because AB was on the show.
Yeah.
And he expressed that he would definitely love to return to Pittsburgh.
Y'all know that ain't happening.
We gotta ask.
Y'all know that ain't
We gotta ask. Don't
retire though.
Love it.
It's full circle. You said it.
Yeah. But in terms of putting a helmet on and running out of the tunnel and playing ball and stuff like that, man, he's moved on. We've moved on.
Right.
We could sit around and chop that up and pretend like that's a realistic conversation, but we all know that's not realistic, man. What I'll say about AB is this, man. Man, we had 9 great years.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that dude in ways that I can't explain to y'all, that I won't even bother to attempt to explain to y'all, because it sounds like I'm defending him in some way. And to me, from that standpoint, the nature of our relationship and what we all did together requires no defense.
I like that. I enjoy that.
I love that. I only heard this. I only saw the headline, the clip, like you all know that ain't happening or whatever, about bringing him back. I didn't hear that second part. When he talks about, oh yeah, if we want to sit here and talk about this like it's a real thing, sure, we can make believe for a little bit. But then how he talks about how we had 9 great years, that's pretty. It's an honest, like real-time answer, which you don't really get from head coaches a whole lot in the NFL.
Tone listened to the entire interview because he's obviously a diehard Steelers fan and couldn't wait to hear Tomlin speak more. And when that headline got sent into the group text, Tone literally came over to me and was like, hey, he spoke very highly of Antonio Brown in that entire thing. He was just talking about playing, I think, was his answer.
Correct.
I'm not sure about the retirement. He would go on to say about Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he went on and talked about how close they were and how incredible of a worker, and how much of a dog AB was. He was like, for a guy that was 5'9" or is 5'9" and 180 or whatever, AB was never afraid of anything. And he talked about how AB was always working to be a better dad. He called Tomlin on Easter one time and was like, hey, what do I do for my son or whatever to make sure he has the best Easter possible or whatever? And Tomlin's like, you go buy him a suit, take him to church, come over after. We got an Easter egg hunt going on and stuff like that. And how Tomlin and the coaches and some of when AB was a single dad, when he got drafted or whatever, the coaches and AB, they would take turns watching little AB on the road and stuff like that. And if he was sleeping on the plane, when they got home or whatever, Tomlin's like, don't worry, come get him in the morning. He could stay over, shit like that. They had a really good relationship. Damn. It sounded like.
So that's something we're all learning about, I think, through that conversation. And Coach Tomlin must obviously said it in this setting because he wanted people to hear that as opposed to maybe the narrative that's out there. Mm-hmm. But I don't think, from listening to Coach, I don't think he gives a fuck about anybody outside that building.
He says that actually.
He doesn't listen to shit. He'll go to a Penguins game, and all of Pittsburgh will go bananas for him every single time. It seems like he's genuinely interested, having a beer. But other than that, it feels like he is just ball. That's all. And that's how you remain great for so long, by the way, if you're just fully committed. And I think he's done that. That's why everybody in Pittsburgh appreciates
He actually says in there, and it was referring to the Jacoby play, and he says, if you know me, you know me. And if you don't know me, I assume you hate me, and I don't give a shit what you think about me, is actually kind of what he said.
He chit-chatted about the Jacoby Jones return. We have a Baltimore Ravens-Pittsburgh Steelers rivalry, very real, in a play that the entire world saw. The first time we're getting Coach Tomlin's point of view on that came from the pivot released just yesterday.
And so I'm routine, to be quite honest. I'm routine in a lot of stuff, but I stand on the line. I watch the ball get kicked. I make sure that we're not offsides. And then I watch the Jumbotron. And so in that instance, we were kicking left to right. The Jumbotron was behind our kick unit. And so we kicked the ball off, and I'm looking up at the contour of the deal, and somebody falls down. And so when somebody fell down, I almost like leaned in on the Jumbotron, like, ugh. You know what I mean?
We got trouble.
And then I saw a double team block, and I said, "Oh no!" And so I'm walking at the Jumbotron like I'm
in your house watching TV,
like I'm watching a horror movie. Like, oh no, oh that's bad. Okay. What people don't talk about is the stuff that on the Jumbotron is backwards. It's flipped. And so I'm watching the Jumbotron. On the Jumbotron, it looks like he's running up the right sideline, but actually he's coming up our sideline. And so I'm processing it. I'm serious. Once the ball got kicked, I'm locked in on the Jumbotron. I'm watching the structure of it break down, and it has got my attention. And I'm looking at, oh man, I'm walking at it and I'm looking. And in my mind, I'm thinking, he's going up their sideline because the Jumbotron picture is backwards. I didn't realize I was in danger, man, until I saw myself on the Jumbotron. And dude, no joke. I saw myself on the Jumbotron. I dodged Jacoby because I saw myself. I never saw him. Yeah. I was like, oh, and he went by me.
Yeah.
I saw myself as he was running down the sideline. I came into the Jumbotron.
But it did make him step inside, and that gave a better angle for the tackler.
Certainly. I don't deny that.
But that's a mistake. That was strategic.
And I paid $100,000 for that mistake.
I just shout out to the pivot, man. Yeah. Incredible interview with a guy that doesn't do a lot of those things. He was fucking remarkable in there. Stories go on and on. Leadership stuff in there. Hey, that is worth a listen.
Every time he speaks, it's like a leadership like masterclass, like workshop that people need to watch.
I believe they had some drinks together too. It appeared a little Happy Dad seltzer around there. Tomlin had a couple drinks with the boys.
Those guys are awesome though. Fred Taylor, obviously.
Channing
Crowder's amazing, right? Like they're all very, very good. There's a reason Tomlin felt comfortable to open up and be like he is.
And they talked about the 2008 defense a little bit that Ryan Clark was a part of. And a little bit of punting there with Mitch Berger. We were doing business with Mitch Berger at the time, which was a hilarious way to describe having like a punter that is filling in for somebody. He said Mitch knew it was his last rodeo. We knew it was Mitch's last rodeo. And Mitch would hit like a 15-yard shank, and the defense would be happy because they wouldn't have to give up as many yards. They would give up no yards. So that defense was so petty, watching like the history books and how many yards they were giving up and everything. They were actually pumped when the punter did not give a bigger field for them to have to kind of lock down and tighten up on. It was very, very well done. I think his respect for Ryan Clark obviously gets him in there, but also Channing Crowder, Fred, those are legends in the NFL now, and I think people feel very comfortable chatting with them. And I said this yesterday, when I Am Athletes split up, I think I, as an outsider, who saw a lot of former players come together and creating incredible content and changing the sports media world and getting vital stuff. When I saw them split up, I was fucking bummed. I'm like, here we go again. Players are going to fuck this up. And instead, it's become two incredible shows for the sports media world. And I am very, very thankful. Very, very thankful for them and for that conversation.
Yeah, my main takeaway was that all he thinks about is leadership, and everything is planned. They asked him who they're going to rely on the field this year. And he said he actually set up a program. I don't know if every team does this or not. He set up a program between Cam Hayward and Najee so that they could tell Najee was a natural leader, but they have Cam like mentoring him to be the next leader of the team, like when Cam's done and stuff like that. And he said, we didn't hope for that. Like, we're planning for that. Like, we're planning for everything as far as, like, everything that goes on.
Put Cam right next to Najee in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, you know what I mean?
Well, and Tomlin took over for Bill Cowher, an absolute legend. And Tomlin was mostly, like, unknown when he got the gig,
30, what was he, 34? 33?
He was DB coach from Tampa, right? Or was he the coordinator?
Secondary, I think he was secondary.
Coordinator in Minnesota, previously the secondary coach in Tampa.
How old was he? 30 what?
He's 50 now. He took over in 2007.
I think 1 year as a coordinator. I think
35. 34,
Yeah, it was only 1 year.
34, 35.
Yeah, I think he was, in my head, he was 34, but yeah, he comes in. Bill Cowher's from Pittsburgh. A lot of success in Pittsburgh. Then you hire some name that was not on anybody's coaches list at all. It was back in the day, I guess it wasn't covered as much as it is now. So when he was hired, I remember Pittsburgh going, what are Rooney's doing? The fuck are we doing here? And then it was very quick. The city fell in love with him. Very, very quick. Because that was back whenever he would talk shit and he would that team was immediately good. So he is beloved in Pittsburgh. There's always a contingency of media local media and local people that will, expect the Super Bowl every year and understand that. And by the way, need to have those people around. And I think everybody who's a diehard sports fan would say they're there. So people nitpick at Tomlin, obviously, but I don't think I've ever heard one person that's ever played for him that has. No. Ever, AJ. I don't think I've heard one person ever.
And he won the Super Bowl in his second year, so we loved it pretty quickly.
Have they had any issues, though, other than, the only issues you can ever think of them is when guys were, streaming live stuff in the locker room a few times when they were showing, his post-game deal, and that was really the only thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then, because we chatted with him about that, and he said, his kids, he's got kids these age, so being able to handle that situation differently now than maybe he would have, that's evolving and, getting to know the modern player and the modern athlete, and there's only a few coaches that are going to be able to survive because there's people that are stuck in their coaching ways, by the way, just like there's people that are in their working ways. If you've had success doing something one particular way forever, it's going to be very difficult just to change that and go a different direction. These great coaches in the NFL have the ability to adapt. They have the ability to change. Like Bill Belichick is probably vastly different now than he was 15 years ago. Andy Reid, same thing. Tomlin, same thing. And I think the people at Pittsburgh who like Tomlin, look at his record against Sean Payton's record and everybody else. He is never in the conversation of greatest coaches of all time. And I think there's a lot of people that say he fucking should be. He's going to have to win a couple more though, I think. And I don't think he's stopping anytime soon.
No, we say he's 51, 52. 50. He's still young, right?
Yeah, he can go another 20 years.
Looks great. I would imagine when he came in for that interview with the Steelers, they had to be blown away. I would assume he was so juiced to have that interview too. He came in and just annihilated it, and they were like, "Hey, we got to go with this dude."
Imagine the Rooneys. Who fucks this guy?
Who's this guy?
Everyone thought it was going to be Ken Wisenhunt and Russ Grimm. They were the two in-house candidates that were both up for it. Everyone was like, "Oh, Russ Grimm, sure."
Credit to the Steelers, man. Front office.
And then they went to the Arizona Cardinals. That crew went over the
Cardinals. Which not saying they wouldn't have been successful there, but just Mike Tomlin feels like the perfect Pittsburgh coach right now in this moment in time.
The Steelers have been incredibly lucky. Just like the Colts had that run from Peyton and then one off year, then Andrew Luck. Anytime you get a handoff and there's instant success and, kind of a take to a city and everything, you have to have wins for this to happen. The Steelers had Bill Cowher was there for how many years?
A long time.
15.
And Chuck Noll was
20-some?
Forever before that.
3 coaches in 50 years or something like that.
Ridiculous. Whenever Tomlin decides to hang it up, a lot of pressure on that new cat coming in.
Good luck.
So Noll was from 69 to 91. And then Cowher was till 2006.
22 years and then 15 years.
And then
17.
Tomlin's 16th season is next.
Cowher was also 34 when he was hired.
So 52 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
3 coaches.
Tomlin will be up there with all-time wins because he's already at 200. I think he passed last year, and the all-time is 354.
How about Channing saying, "Now that did help somebody make the tackle, Certainly. Certainly. I will not fight that. Now that cost me $100,000. What a legend, man! Thanks to the folks at the Pivot for doing that. The Browns are exploring a $1 billion dome, lakefront stadium to be built. The Browns are reportedly exploring sites for a new covered stadium that could cost over $1 billion. This via the Sports Business Journal. Now, for those that have never been to Cleveland or just have thoughts of what Cleveland is, or because of how bad their team has been, or you grew up in Pittsburgh and were told that it's the worst city of all time, it's actually very beautiful on the lake. It's a gorgeous spot where the stadium is. Yes. Wildly windy. Wildly windy. Notoriously windy because it's right on the lake and it's doing that. But the beautiful view is what you're getting on the other hand of that incredible wind. So whenever it says covered, are they thinking like SoFi Stadium, where you still have the cold and everything like that, but you don't have to deal with just the
I hope not.
Relenting snow and wind?
Covered, for me, covered would be a retractable dome.
Okay, so that's how
roof.
That's how you read that.
That's gonna be more than $1 billion, though.
Yeah, I was very.
Yes.
I didn't know if they were thinking
would
about
do they
building
have
a
space
bubble.
to put it like next to the stadium, or do they have to tear the stadium down?
Well, if they're looking at exploring sites for a new covered stadium, so you would think it would be somewhere else because they would have to play in this stadium until that stadium goes, and it's going to take them at least a couple years to build the new stadium. And then what happens with this property that is perfect on the lake? Probably a lot of money there. $1 billion. I don't know. I saw a 34,000 square foot mansion in Columbus for like $8 million or something like that yesterday on Zillow. It was probably you or Wexner's house. So maybe $1 billion goes a lot longer. What's that?
Somewhere in Columbus, really?
Yeah, it was on Zillow.
34,000 square feet. Whose house is
Zillow
that?
Twitter account.
Yeah, go find that Zillow adventure.
Zillow Gone Wild, I believe.
It's like 34 bedrooms or something like that.
It was awesome.
Is it Wexy's place?
Well, it's you would let us know. Well,
His will be way more than $8 million. I'm sure.
Well, you know.
Well, that's what I think.
I think he has like 1,000 acres almost.
This one
has a lot of acres.
Has a lake as well.
Nice.
Very nice.
You should get it.
I mean,
you love lakes. You're a lake guy.
I am a lake guy. I enjoy my lake a lot right now. I'm supposed to be a lake guy, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, your dad has a boat. Does he park it at your dock?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Why?
So he doesn't have to trailer it and stuff.
Listen, Tim's going to run that boat right through that dock at some point. Okay, he is learning as we go. I happen to be in a part of the lake where the waves and the chop are very big. So Tim is battling the lake every time he's trying to park that thing.
No.
And it is a scene. It is a little bit of a scene. He's getting much more comfortable. Last night he came back at like 10:30 at night or something like that because he went night fishing on the water.
Oh, really? Catch anything?
Pulled right in. He caught nothing. My Aunt Patty caught 4 fish though.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Aunt Patty's a reeler.
At least they're out then.
What's that?
I mean, at least the fish are out at night. Good
Same
to know.
boat, same bait. Patty catches 4 things. Tim catches none. You tell me.
Yeah, that's like the
Good angler.
Minnetonka.
Here's the house in Columbus though for $8 million.
Big set. Whose house is this?
I don't know. Can you zoom in on how many feet? I might have been off on the square feet.
Urban.
No, 32,000. Yeah, 32,000 square feet. 16.
26 baths.
I got 26 bathrooms. I can shit all day, says Lil Wayne. Good floral. The landscaping is going to cost you a lot of money throughout the year.
That deck up there.
Is that Wexy's spot, AJ?
No, it's not. I've never seen this place. I might have to drive by.
Yeah, why don't you buy this spot?
Yeah.
No, I definitely don't need to buy it. But
Why not?
no way, but there's
pocket
a lot of
change
money
for you.
going into that house.
Well, that's $8 million is getting you that in Ohio. I think that's what everybody will say whenever you say it's going to cost a lot more than $1 billion to build a stadium on the lake. It will.
I'm
but
saying the work you need once you buy that house too, and then the upkeep.
It's only 20 minutes from Chop House.
Jeez.
Is this Urban's house?
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, would you know?
No, because there's no.
I know where his old house was that he used to live.
There's no
Yeah.
statues of Urban, which he definitely has a bunch at his house. So
Finger guns all over the place.
Is that a pool house?
It looks
Big
like
house?
it is. We could set up a little office over there.
AJ, it's only 4 miles from your house and your address.
Is it really?
What's AJ's address again?
What is this? Another house on it?
Yeah, this is
Guest house?
And then there's a babbling brook, obviously.
How many acres is this?
A lot.
I don't know. Go back to that.
Is that a graveyard?
It's like 7 kitchens. That thing is sweet.
Sick. You should buy this.
Nah, I think I'm okay.
HOA fee, I'm out. Sorry,
Only
guys.
7 acres.
Only
HOA.
7 acres.
7 acres. Yeah, you're not going to be able to change anything with that HOA. You got all
$400 a month. I'm not paying that.
I'm fucking backing an HOA right now.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I had to send the first check over, and it was. I felt like I was just giving away
I
my
can't
fucking
wait.
soul.
I can't wait for your first battle with them.
Yeah, sons of bitches, dude. Who says? That's what I can't wait to say. I can't put that bush there. Who says?
Guy at the end of the block?
Fuck that guy.
People love to care about what other people are doing with their house.
Oh, my God.
Bullshit.
My thing was always build it, and then what are they going to come to you and be like, oh, got to knock that down? No.
Yeah.
Sorry. Historical landmark.
What, are you going to arrest me? Kick me
Fight it and then just pay the fine at the end.
What if there's a full beef, though, between a standoff between my
true.
bush and that guy?
Who cares?
What if he's pissing on your bush every night trying to kill it?
Don't be peeing in my yard and tell me it's raining, pal. Zito just dropped in my ear that there is open property right next to the stadium on the lake there. I think it's, what do they ship in and out of there? I feel like it is an active dock there.
Poop.
I'm sure it was more active at one point. I don't know about poop.
Cleveland
They do that in Florida, though, don't they?
Cleveland doesn't.
Or, I
deserve
mean,
any
New
of
York,
this.
they do that.
What?
Don't they put like the poop on barges and take it over to the sewage treatment plants and the garbage?
No, they.
All right, let's get to a
repurpose it
break.
and feed
We'll
it
be
to the
back.
bums.
Sorry, we can't even talk about a new stadium coming to
Houses
Cleveland
for rats.
without all this.
Can't repurpose it.
I'm sure they
Feed the
can.
people.
We're in a world where everybody's smart and everybody.
That is a nice area of Cleveland. I remember it. We landed right next to it.
Yeah, but you're from Detroit, so your frame of reference.
No, I respect the Great Lakes. Lake Erie's a good one.
Somebody tweeted me today and said, "How come Detroit always gets buried every time I mention it?" It's because, well, it's Detroit, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
What do you want?
There's a lot of trash in the street when we went to Cleveland, too.
The top exports
that?
of Cleveland are
License
aircraft parts, waste and
Okay.
scrap of precious metals, circuits,
That's big.
Big circuit, need circuits.
Yeah, microchips.
microprocessors.
There it is.
I enjoy Cleveland. I think it's a beautiful place.
It was a nice casino, too.
Yeah?
Giving.
They call it the Flats. Is that right? What's
Yeah.
downtown there?
Flats.
Yeah, there was fire, I guess.
Yeah, it was on fire.
There was fire. Bad fire. People were trapped in a building last night.
Yeah, it was
Hope
bad.
everybody's okay in Cleveland.
Last
Jesus.
night?
Yeah, last night or this morning. I forget. I just seen the
I
video.
didn't see that.
Cheese and booze.
All the mulch beds were on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Is mulch horse?
Nah, sometimes it can be, but not
Can
normally.
use it, yeah.
Manure on a farm.
Mulch smells like poop.
Yeah.
It's on
Sometimes.
fire last night. Poop again. All right. We're back in 4 minutes. We're going to wrap up this show with phone calls.
Hell yeah.
We got Bobby, Tim, Mitch, Ryan, Danny, and Charlie.
Here we go, boys.
Good luck. All right, you guys got
Good luck,
4
guys.
minutes to fucking gather your thoughts.
Here we go, boys.
5-hour energy phone line on the other side. Let's be positive to these callers.
Hell yeah.
AJ.
Yep, it's always me, right? It's never you.
That's right. See you in 4.
A night of firsts already. We have the last lap match still to come tonight. Roman Reigns will defend.
Hold on.
What is this?
I got something to say, and I want the whole world to hear it.
Why is he still here?
Pat, yeah, you and I, we've known each other for a long, long time. And I just hear you criticizing me and making jokes.
Oh, did you guys just go home?
When I was all the way at rock bottom, you coined the phrase, bum ass Corbin.
It was a good name.
But then I hit it big. I hit it big, and you still run your mouth about me. You talk about all my losses. You criticize my hit show, Happy Talk. You say I'm undeserving of my pyro, and you need to obviously watch your mouth, because if you don't, I'm gonna drag you over this desk, throw your skinny ass in that ring, and make you wish you were dead.
Hold on. Hey, do you mind? Thank God they keep the house mic in here. Context.
Hold on now, bum ass Corbin.
Before you walk out of this arena, I think what we were all expecting when we heard about a last laugh match
was that we'd see your sorry ass getting laughed out of an entire arena. So I think with the help of the beautiful people in M-I-N-N, we can give the WWE Universe what they've been waiting for since your sorry ass came into this company. Will you help me laugh this jabroni the hell out of Minneapolis, Minnesota? You suck!
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Happy Corbin has become the laughing stock of WWE thanks to my partner, Jeff Fun.
It had to be said. And why didn't you tell me that was going to happen? How'd he get that microphone? Nonetheless, he got what he deserved and now actual talent on the stage.
Yeah, the New Day have been laughing Happy Corbin out of the arena.
Tried to double play this thing and it went to a full fucking selection.
Come on, computer.
Welcome back. What, AJ?
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride in the rest of the show, huh?
Hey, who's the guy that makes the good videos? The Let's Ride videos, dressed up as Russ.
Oh,
that
we
thing?
talked about that yesterday.
Yeah,
you were
remember?
on a golf course on a vacation. Awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Did you booze yesterday? Any boozing on vacation or?
No, it was like 8,000 degrees. Actually, you know what? At the very end, they had a little cocktail reception before I got picked up. I had a Corona with a lime. It was beautiful.
Oh,
Right
wow.
setting. It was nice. It was cool. I got to stand in the shade and get away from the sun for a minute.
That is fantastic. I'm happy to hear that you had a good time yesterday. We were in here talking about settlements.
Yeah. Grinding. You had a massive meeting.
Oversight committees. Yeah. I mean, happy you had a good one. Thanks for putting on for all of us out there.
Hey, baby.
Cool.
AJ.
You're welcome.
Thank you, AJ.
You're welcome. Yeah, we'll miss you tomorrow, buddy.
Thanks, man.
I'll be here tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Back-to-back days?
You know who wanted to play? My brother-in-law is in town playing in a member guest somewhere. He wanted me to play today. Sorry, pal.
Brady?
Yeah. Well, originally he asked me, hey, you want to play after your show Wednesday? I was like, oh, back-to-back golf. I'm coming from this thing. That's going to be tough. And I hadn't heard from him in a couple of days. I sent a text. He said, don't worry. It'll be later after your show. I said, all right, maybe I'll come join you for the back nine or something. And I texted him yesterday and said, what's your plan for tomorrow? And he said, well, tea time at 11:48. Would love to have you. I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it.
Of course. Brady has no idea when the show is. I think we sold a bunch of their shirts to raise some money for the Fourth and Brady Foundation.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Third and goal. That nice. Okay. Fourth and Brady.
That's a good
actually
name.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
it
an
should be.
offshoot.
Should change it to that.
All right. Let's hit these phones.
What's the foundation? Oh, it's called Fourth and Brady, actually. Well, what's your name? My name's Brady.
That'd be cool.
I'm founder.
Pretty
I
sweet.
made a big play on fourth down one time. Is that why it's third and long? What do you do on third and long? Something cool?
Threw a massive touchdown.
Third and goal. No, I think. I don't know. What is third and goal?
Need to have it.
Yeah, threw a massive touchdown.
No, you don't.
have it right now.
Because there's fourth down coming right on the other side.
Well, Vrabel,
Brady.
Vrabel has, and Luke Fickle, they started one 20-some years ago called Second and Seven Foundation. They provide books to all these inner city schools and all this stuff. My son actually is finishing up Second and Seven football camp this week, but I asked Vrabes that a while ago, or the other guys, Luke, who are involved, and I think they said because Second and Seven's like a tough down. It's like a weird intermediate. You got to get it. I don't know.
That's true.
Right.
So it's not like
So
it made
third
a-
and goal is tough. Maybe I don't know.
It wasn't like a national championship pick on second and seven, or
No,
like a
no.
big, like third and goal. You would think would have something that he accomplished in his career.
It honestly might. I don't know.
Look into all the 3rd and goal. Somebody go
Probably
to Pro
had
Football
like a
Focus.
nasty fade to Jeff Samardzija at Notre Dame for a touchdown.
Is he still in the MLB, that guy?
I don't think he is anymore, but he had a long career.
He did. Successful career.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I remember
Got-
NFL or MLB. He picked MLB.
Right.
The Shark, right? Didn't they call him the Shark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Won the World Series, right?
The issue with
I don't remember if he was on the Cubs. I know he got paid, though.
No, he wasn't the Cubs when he won.
He wasn't on the
Guaranteed
Giants,
money.
though? Thought he was on
That's
the
a lot of
Giants.
games.
for a
Now, by the way, wide receiver, he could potentially. What were you going to say, Tone? The issue with what?
Nope, I'm into it. I think I found an article.
Here we go.
What did you first pull up, and why is that automatically your suggestion on your computer on this Wi-Fi?
No. When you Google Brady Quinn 3rd and goal, you got to sift through the actual foundation results first before you get to some.
So
real
you were
fucking-
disgusted.
It
about-
might say on his website, actually. It's the homepage.
Yeah,
it might say why.
but it says about 3rd and goal.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
here
go.
we
3rd and
go.
goal is a crucial moment in any football game. That can be the difference in winning or losing. Founder Brady Quinn knows the importance of 3rd and goal from his playing days at the University of Notre Dame and National Football League.
Hell yeah.
This down and distance term describes a situation for many veterans returning to face difficult times. The 3rd and goal foundation grants touchdowns, a term we use for the life-altering assistance we provide veterans in need. Thank you, Brady.
Let's go.
It should be 4th
and goal. Yeah.
Something
definitely.
funny. Boston
Probably already
College.
was a 3rd or a 4th and goal.
That was a good punt with touchdowns.
I think it should have been 4th and forever, maybe. That's pretty crucial. Nah, because that's kind of your.
What about first? Then let's start one at 1st and 10. Because we know actually P and 10, the P and 10 foundation, because that means first play of a drive. We know it's always key to get off to a hot start.
P and 10. Who told us that? What coach was that?
I did. Oh, I don't know. I've had coaches. That's what we called it, like P and 10.
The first play of the drive matters. This is a lot of these college coaches talk about how they want to get into a rhythm, and P1 or whatever, P and 10, the first play, literally decides whether or not that's going to be a successful drive or not. So the first play of the drive is the most important play, because if you don't get off on a rolling start, we ain't got 2nd and 10. We don't have a 2nd and 10 in this particular play. We got 1st and 10, then we got 2nd and 6, and then we got 3rd and whatever. Then we got another first down, and this is all happening without a huddle. So if we have a bad first play of a possession, we are fucked. Basically, is how it was explained to me.
Yeah, and on the other side, defensively, if you can hold them to no gain on 1st and 10, P and 10, first play of a drive, you put them behind the sticks early.
I know him as the punter, by the way, throughout my career. Looked at the first play of the game for our offense, and I normally knew immediately. Matt, we're punting in 2 plays. This is going to be a long one today. Or okay.
Here we go.
We are about to smoke the. Let's get to the phones. Five Energy phone line. Let's go to Tim in Colorado. Tim, what's going on, pal?
Hey, Pat, keep it moving. How we doing?
Bingo. Nailed it.
Okay.
Hey, first things first, let's shout out to the next generation of stooges like Owen, and a shout out to Jackson, who we miss on Hammer.
Dahn. Is that kid?
Shout out. That was a young kid from Oregon.
Love the kid.
What? I figure he got caught by his bookie or something.
Did Elias or Ezekiel win their match?
They didn't have a match.
Next week.
They had a great concert, though.
Both of them?
There's Zeke's number 1 freak.
And there's my little brother, Ezekiel. What's going on, Tim? What do you want to talk about, pal?
Actually, I'm putting about a 19-footer right now. So I kind of
Let's go. Left to right, straight ahead.
Oh, hey, it's uphill, right to left.
Don't leave it
That's
short.
talk about. I'm sitting here golfing at 10,000 feet, Pat. You better hit the driving range when you go to Tahoe.
Hey, listen, is this for par, birdie, bogue? What is it for?
Oh, this is for par.
Bullshit.
You're going to end up double, I think. This is a 3-putt.
I'm not. I'll go. No, I'm talking to Pat fucking McAfee. Hold on.
Is he talking to me?
No, someone just said, "Hey, you're out. Let's go."
Yeah, 19 feet. Of course, you've probably been out since the beginning.
Fuck.
Yeah, never would have guessed, Tim. Never would have fucking guessed. Jeez. There's no chance of that ball rolling in 10,000 feet. Does that affect the putting, the thin air? You don't know. This guy has no idea.
What about the conditioning?
Why? I mean, I don't care. Why would you? Why does it matter?
You don't care.
I want to make putts.
Trying to make putts.
Just feel it. You got to be a field player, man. Just use your instincts. Don't worry about that. Or you got to take 10% because of the altitude. Okay, just hit the ball.
Well, I actually had to do that for my profession for a bit whenever we would travel around, so I'm comfortable in that whole thing. I just don't know, is wind affecting my putting?
Yeah.
Because there'll be numerous times where wind will hit me, and then I try to fight the wind, and then the ball goes completely against the wind, way wrong, and it fucks me up. I need to get mentally tougher on the green, putting. I need to get mentally tougher in there. That is something that
I wouldn't play the wind.
No, I wouldn't either.
Thank you. We have an update on the 32,676 feet house, the second largest home in Franklin County, is sold to the founder of Charlie's Grilled Subs.
Oh, makes sense.
That was 2013, though.
So he's selling it now.
So
he's selling it.
So if you look at it, Charlie and Sungay Shin paid $2.65 million for the Dublin Road home. The Franklin County auditor site lists the home now at 26,748 feet. That seems to be more than what it was. So they were trying to get out of taxes. They said it was smaller, making it second only to Les Wexner's.
Oh,
Lexi's 43,000 square feet. AJ, wow.
Not the biggest one though. Keep reading. There's
Who's
a big
Tammy Longenberger?
Yeah, who is Tammy Longenberger?
Longenberger baskets.
Huh?
They fucking do great.
The hell is
Who are
that?
they selling baskets to? Is that like the crate place?
I don't know. They're like these weird. They had like a headquarters where I drive by that was a huge basket. The building was. Now I think it's vacant for a while because they can't find somebody to buy it.
Well, the Longenbergers moved some fucking baskets. They got
Wow.
57,000 square foot estate.
That's big.
Moving
I don't know where
baskets.
Nashport is. Nashport, Ohio. I've never heard of that.
Gold mine.
They probably created it.
It's in that county.
Franklin.
I don't know if it's in Franklin County.
Okay.
Are you in Franklin County?
Yeah.
You and Wexy.
Wow.
No, I don't think Wexy's in Franklin. He's not Franklin County. New Albany's. It's out there.
Wow.
It's far away.
I think
makes
the
sense.
Charlie's Grilled Subs guy got that house on a good deal from an Italian man who was convicted of bank fraud, tax conspiracy, and other crimes.
Really?
You guys had a little Rico going on out there.
Okay.
Okay.
I did not know the Italians had fucking turned out Dublin, Ohio as well.
I
It's
think.
good for them. They're everywhere.
The Shins bought the home from Iberia Bank, which took it over after former owner Thomas Parento was convicted of bank fraud, tax conspiracy, and other crimes, RICO. The home was built by home builder Dahn Ettore in 1990 and vastly expanded by Ettore in the late 1990s. Okay. I didn't know. Shin founded Charlie Subs in 1986 at The Ohio State University. I didn't know that.
Wow.
The chain
you
now
know that?
includes more than 500 restaurants, 47 states, 20 countries. Holy shit, AJ. Why don't you ever support Charlie Subs? You're always with that Rooster's Chicken.
Yeah.
Well, Roosters is amazing. Love what they do there. But Charlie Subs, I didn't know it was an Ohio thing.
Yeah,
I've had it.
It was really good. Charlie Subs.
Charlie Subs great. Every mall in America.
It is. They're unbelievable. Sparrow, Charlie's.
Yeah.
Panda Express.
Auntie Anne's.
Sakio, Japan.
Sake of Japan.
Tokyo, Japan.
Mall food is the best.
Yeah.
W.
So good.
Just give me a toothpick and I'm going to keep it moving.
Sabaro's the best of them all.
Absolutely. That's where I end every time, but I'm taking the free toothpicks at least a tractor another round.
Sure.
Pretzel maker.
Another round.
Oh, yeah.
How about when they have the pretzel on
Yeah.
the toothpick?
What about Cinnabon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How is anything open in any mall in America?
Well, I don't think they are.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Only
the
the fan-
hours are much different now. It's like 12 to 6.
Only the fancy ones.
The Super Yup Mall here in Indy is still open.
It is.
Yeah.
Thriving.
Always crowded.
Thriving. Doing
Actually,
very well.
The other one starts with a C is, well, they both start with a C. The one up by us is doing well still, I believe, too. But the one down here, do not go there.
Yeah, that one.
I feel like outdoor malls,
Scarce.
the ones that are built were like the outdoor malls, those seem to be thriving. Like the fully encapsulated
Outlets.
old school indoor malls. I haven't seen many of those doing well.
So you're talking about plazas. Some people call them plazas, and I do believe COVID wouldn't show up at plazas.
No, it wouldn't.
Correct.
A lot of outdoors there. That's why.
I believe this
And
mall
Amazon,
downtown
too.
sold.
Yeah, that
Really?
one.
Yeah.
A lot of stores in there that
I believe
are
they sold
closed.
it, and I think the plan is to make that like
Distribution center.
residential. Like they're gonna put like apartments in there and
That's
stuff like
smart.
that. Yeah.
Also, ain't nobody want to fucking work anymore, so.
Amazon's buying them all. Google.
Malls stink.
What?
They're the absolute worst.
No, the Keystone one and the Casta
Don't
one
say
are
that.
nice.
They are terrible.
There's kids out there that got nothing to do. They're just going to walk around the mall right now.
I was
I don't think they do that
Get
anymore.
on a field and work on your routes then, kids. Jesus.
All right.
Culture another weapon.
Get in your playbook.
Let's go to Mitch in Kansas City. I heard Kansas City, pretty big Paisan city after watching Casino. What do you want to talk about, pal?
Hi, I want to talk about you and the boys coming to Kansas City in 4 years and watching the reigning, defending Soccer Lombardi Gordo champions.
Kansas City did get a game. Were you guys excited for that over there?
Oh, hell yeah, a lot better.
4 years from now?
Than A.J. Hawk and those boys that don't support the team.
That's
You're right. 4 years from now, though?
That's right.
You said it.
Yeah, this one.
I supported the Columbus Crew. I don't support the Kansas City team, whoever they are.
Dude.
I think they're the Wild.
Yeah. Wait, so 4 years from now, he has tickets to what?
Sporting KC, yeah.
The KC Wild. That's
Yeah.
a good name. They should change it to that.
They should think about doing that. What do you want us to do? The Soccer Lombardi's not in America now. It's 4 years from now. We won the bid. North America won the bid. And there is only one city in the middle of the continent that got a game, and it's Kansas City. Not Chicago, not Indianapolis.
It's 2026?
Not Columbus. Yes.
Where have you been?
Every 4 years, dude.
The World Cup?
Yeah.
It's every 2 years, I thought.
No.
It alternates.
Are you serious?
That's the Olympics.
No, because the women's
Is this a bit that I don't know about?
All right, so the men are every 4 years, the women are every 4 years, but they happen to run, so it's every 2 years a Soccer Lombardi shows
But didn't
up.
COVID throw it off, too?
Well,
It did.
It did throw it off a year, just like the Olympics, where winter and summer are supposed to be 2 years off, and they're supposed to do that whole thing. But also, because they picked Qatar, who is a very free country and has not done anything wrong. And if anybody talks about the World Cup,
Seems like it.
they better feel terrible
Yeah.
about themselves. It has been moved into the fall, which has kind of backpedaled all of the schedule of all the trophies. But yeah, 4 years. Kansas City, the only city in the middle of the continent that got a game. And I think we'll all have to go, AJ.
I wonder if Twelman's
Yeah, of
covering the
course.
World
I'll be
Cup.
there.
He's not.
There's no way 12 minutes will talk about the World
He's
Cup.
not.
Can't.
I think so. Also, KC got the draft.
They do the draft next year.
Oh.
That's what happens when Patrick Mahomes comes to town.
That's right.
Patrick Mahomes comes to town. Jackson Mahomes comes to town.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, it was actually right when Jackson left.
Yes, a lot of fanfare, a lot of fans. He has a lot of fans outside of the football world.
He's coming back. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but as soon as they left, they're like, okay, cool, let's do the draft right there then.
He's gonna
be
he's
there.
still there.
He's announcing
he
the
signed a
Chiefs
10-year deal.
You think he can not be in LA in April? That's grind time for the TikTok houses. Right when it's getting nice out, he's got to be out there.
What's gonna happen with LA? I wonder. They got a game.
Does he live in the hype house or something like that?
Yeah, I think he does live in a content house. I enjoy it. Juju was living in one right there for a bit.
Oh yeah, catching footballs, diving into the pool,
Not my
Slip
problem
and slide.
slip and slide routes. Yeah,
Was he living there or just stopping by and filming stuff?
he
he's living there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hanging out.
Him and all his boys.
I don't know if I want like 9 roommates.
Well, I mean, you
I don't
guys
care
went
how
to
big the house is.
You guys went to a house that had like 9 roommates. That was pretty cool. You said?
Yeah, nobody had assigned rooms or anything.
No, just hey,
Yeah.
wherever you fall asleep. Good luck.
I got a text from him. about that the other day. Yeah. He said, "How long were we in that house?"
Still don't know. Still up in the air. I spent a good 40 minutes in a pantry.
Biggest house I've ever been in my entire life. Oh my God.
Smack right dab in the middle of an unbelievable area where like having space is very expensive.
That house had to be $100 million that we were sitting in. Honestly, don't you think?
I mean, if you told me it was 100, I would not be surprised.
And AJ's acting like a jackass.
Yeah.
Thank you for getting Pat out of that house, AJ, because we went to a super nice house like that one time. They had one of those hidden bookshelf doors.
Oh.
That thing opened up, and Pat walked right in there. No second thought about it. Just walked straight back. I said, where is this guy going?
I didn't even think like that. We walked out of there, though. As we're walking out of this particular house that they're referring to, they were like, we don't need you going into those secret rooms ever again. And I'm like, why are you guys talking to me like that? Like, did you see the paintings on the wall of that place? Yeah. Did you see how everybody was acting? You just walk into a secret room. They're going to fucking kill you or fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You need not to happen. And I did not even think about that. I was like, what?
What state were you in?
You did the same
Don't
thing.
worry
with
about it.
fucking-
Don't worry
We
about
almost
it.
lost you in the garden, too.
You did the same thing
I
with
need to know.
Scientology. You were just walking anywhere.
I'm curious.
I do that. Hey, I'll always walk in, open all their I like to see everything. I just by myself.
No, I'm not opening anything, but if somebody's
I am.
like, hey, come take a little peek, see, I'm like, all right, I'm like a little peek-see. Let me see what's going on in here.
That's the closest I've ever felt to after we left. Like, we just cheated death.
Whose house
we
was
cheated
this?
death.
People who wear faces.
Maybe the best pizza I ever had in my life, though.
All right, let's get to a caller.
Lou Malnati's?
No.
No.
Zeke, I saw that pop up in my DoorDash. I was in Chicago. I thought of you.
So Lou Malnati better than the other one?
Jared Thonzons?
It matters.
What matters?
Sorry, my mic was off. Jared Dahn was the other one, but it matters, though. It's hit or miss sometimes.
What matters?
What are you talking about?
It does.
Are you comparing both pizzas right now, did you ask me? Yeah. It definitely matters.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
What matters?
That's a good point. He makes a good point.
Don't be so fucking stupid, AJ.
Z, please tell me what matters.
No, it
just matters.
It matters.
Bro.
Dude.
It matters.
Thank you, Zito, for that. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Danny in Phoenix.
It does, though. It really does.
Yeah. Danny, what's going on the 5 Energy phone line, pal?
Pat, the boys, how you doing?
Keep moving.
Hey, first off, I wanted to throw a shout out. I'll be seeing you next Friday at Smack
Dahn
in Phoenix.
That's next Friday.
Yeah.
And the second thing was, I was wondering
Tap him on
if
the
you
shoulder.
heard George Kittle's comments of what he said on the Kevin Hart Cold as Balls podcast show about how the NFL should possibly have 2 bye weeks because the 17-game season takes a huge physical toll, and it would allow for better recovery. Do you think this would work if the NFL cut the preseason down to possibly 2 games?
Danny, I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling and asking that question. We're big George Kittle fans, and I've been banging that drum for a long time now. Long time. I think 2 bye weeks is better if they want to extend the season, give guys another break. But guys like AJ Hawk say, no, I don't want another bye week.
I don't want to extend the season, no.
Yeah, so I don't think it's all. I assumed that the 2 bye weeks everybody would be in favor of. Then I ran into this animal, and he kind of opened my eyes, as did some other players that were like, season's already long enough. We don't need to extend another week. Would it mean more money? Possibly. And if it's more money, maybe you should think about it. But I always wanted another week on the beach during the season for sure. We're back in 21 hours.
Got it.
Here we go.
So AJ just doesn't love ball as much as you do?
I think AJ is saying something that everybody else is saying. It's already hard enough to get through 17 weeks. Make it 18 weeks now with 17 games.
Yeah, if I'm hurt, an extra 4 days is not going to make me healthy.
Yeah, but don't you think the little recharge period there, you know?
There's no recharge. You come back and you feel like garbage.
Yeah, for me.
Stay in the rhythm. Stay in rhythm with what you've been doing.
I actually had to punt in all the places that I went to, like on a regular basis, because I thought I would forget how to kick the ball or I'd lose my rhythm a little bit. So I have great videos from back in the day of me launching balls in LA, in the Bahamas, and other places, and people just walking by. Like I'm hitting a ball fucking 80 yards right in front of their faces, and people are like, get the fuck out of the way, please. It's like, all right. Nobody gives a fuck about punting. But I put on some shows on the LA beach. I mean, I was standing on the the cement part, and then, Frank, were you there?
I don't think so.
That's a shame. It was a good trip.
Into the water?
No, the beach in LA is like fucking like 200 yards long or whatever. So there was like 6 people out there. I guess there's some locals, but there was like jump ball.
Yeah. Nice.
And in the sand, so I'd like punt the ball. It'd go like literally 65, 70 yards because where I punt the ball from, you know, minus the snap is like another 10 yards. So anything you see on TV, if it's a 45-yard punt, well, it's a 55-yard punt from the location. That's why whenever people post videos from workouts and combines, they're like, this ball went 65 yards. It was like, well, that's just a 55-yard punt. That's some people's average throughout some of the year. But nonetheless, I'm happy we're all learning that that's a bunch of bullshit, that the kickers get every yard that they kick and the punters do not. It's bullshit. I don't like it. I hate it. But yeah, there was people fucking jumping over top of shoulders and like landing in the sand.
That's awesome.
And then running the ball back. It was like, this is.
Did you know these people?
A couple of them. I honestly thought you were there, Nick. I guess not. I think Tripp was one of the guys, one of my college roommates.
When did you go play like an ultimate frisbee game on the beach somewhere?
Hey, the sand is awesome. I mean, it's
a great workout.
Tiring as hell. But I mean, whenever you're just landing on it, people are diving, huge.
Yeah.
It was a great ball retriever. And then just hundreds of people just walking around me. Like not even a thought that, oh, did an explosion just go off? Will you please get out of the way, sir? Sorry about it.
Whoops.
Sorry about it. Got to catch on a fucking surfboard thing. I wanted to move to Hermosa there for a while in my life. I'm like, I'm going to get enough money to get a house here in Hermosa on the Strand. There's beach volleyball right there. The bars are awesome. It's very bikeable. That's a beautiful place. But then I got past the age of like 23 and I was like, oh, I'm a senior citizen here. Everybody there is 21 or 22 years old. It's like, oh, I can't. When I finally get enough money to move this place, I will be an artifact compared to everybody else. That's a beautiful place. I don't know how it is now, but it was back in the day. Enjoyed the hell out of my time there.
Yeah, when we were out there for the Super Bowl, granted it wasn't L.A., but I assume there's a plethora amount of like poop and bums.
That's a city. That's a city.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I'm sure they're everywhere.
And there are some beach towns that are much more lenient for the bums and stuff like that.
Sure.
What's the big pier? Huntington?
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica Pier. I think there's a good amount of bums on that. And then Huntington, I think Huntington Beach maybe is one more down from.
I think Venice has a lot.
Oh yeah, Venice is
Beach.
the one. Yeah, they're very open, very comfortable for it. But there's some beautiful spots over there. Beautiful. No, I think Venice is nice.
Yeah, but they had a lot of people move in there though.
They go everywhere.
Like across the street from like $5 million mansions, they had like a full tent community set up. Yeah, I think they took it down.
I don't think that's ever going to stop, right?
Yeah, they go somewhere, the town gets mad, they kick them out. They go somewhere else, the town gets mad, they kick them out.
By the way, if I'm homeless, I'm trying to get there too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to Aaron's house in Malibu, sleeping on the beach there. All the beaches are public.
Why would you say that?
What do you mean? Everyone knows the beaches are public there. You can't own them.
No, it's like you're bird calling people to.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they can get to where he is. He systematically got to a good location.
Systematically, Aaron Rodgers. How's he doing? He good?
Probably. I don't know. We'll see him in Tahoe.
Can't wait to chat with him. There's been a lot of headlines about him.
Yeah.
Really? Lately?
Well, within the last week or two. Which one are you reading? You know?
True.
I don't know. I feel like it's been kind of quiet compared to normal stuff with Aaron.
Compared to last year, yeah.
I mean, which guy are we talking about? You know?
Yeah.
It's always loud, it feels like.
It is. It's kind of spells out like that whenever you talk about some guys. And it's like, which guy are we talking about? And it's almost like the remedy, the potion for it all is just to lay low and do your thing. But some people just can't live that life. And if I had to pick which one I'd want to live, I think I'd pick the quiet one all by myself. But some people just don't get that opportunity.
No, they don't.
You got to mix the remedies and potions right, though.
Yeah, sometimes you just like to throw random stuff in the pot.
In the butt?
In the pot.
Big cast iron pot.
You know, like a witch's pot.
Whoa.
What are you
on
talking
top
about?
of a fire. That's just what I'm picturing when you say that.
What are you
What in the blue hell
I don't know what you guys
doing over there?
I hear remedies. I hear potions.
Are you
I'm
even
thinking
on
of,
Earth?
I'm thinking a pot. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
maybe once in a blue moon, you get a fucking read for a situation.
No, you see, you guys, I assume right away like a Harry Potter, okay? And that's what they do. That's what a lot of the wizards and witches do.
You're terrible at this.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about
Harry
mixing
Potter.
it up. Yeah, Harry, thank you.
You ranch or blue cheese guy?
Ranch.
Yeah.
What about you?
Ranch.
Blue cheese is gross.
Thank you. Disgusting.
Blue cheese crumbles, get those off of my salad.
Get out. Thank you. I had green beans yesterday, and they had blue cheese on
Horrendous.
them.
Who picks blue cheese over anything but on Earth?
On Earth, I do normally like to go with blue cheese.
Of Earth?
Oh, thanks.
I see what we're doing here.
No,
Sometimes blue
thanks.
cheese is magical, though.
Ranch is the best.
All right, let's get out of here, dude. All right, we need to get out of here. This show has got to a point that it needs not to be.
Just jump on our broomsticks to get out.
Okay, all right.
Way to go. Anybody else? Anybody else? Huh?
If we're still
Maybe
talking,
we give Zeke another
Harry
one.
Potter.
It matters.
It matters.
It matters, see.
Do you guys know Zeke cracked the code on the Live Golf Tour?
Come on, Nick. Fucking huge pop.
I need to hear this.
I never knew.
Group text last night we get out of nowhere from Zito. Anybody else find it weird that it's called Live Golf and that is actually the Roman numerals for 54 and they only play 54 holes? Is that what it is? And everybody literally read it, I think, and was like, holy shit. So everybody's had a baby Zeke, had a baby Zeke, had a baby Zeke, and then Zeke responds with, yeah, somebody told me that the other day. I didn't, because we all thought Zito cracked the code. Turns out this is something that other people have chatted about. Is that something?
Oh, yeah.
We've
Yeah,
talked,
we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah, we've talked
This show?
about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I thought everyone knew that.
I have not. No way.
So
Almost got spelled and
we were laughing because we thought everybody already knew that.
Yeah, we've
No.
talked about it. We
There was two different laughs in the group chat then last night.
Mine was, holy fuck, Zito stole this information from somebody and got the pop. I do not know. Have we talked about it on this show? No.
I believe
must have been a
so.
different show.
Or in the office we have.
Yeah.
Okay, that
See,
could've
this is
been-
one of those situations. Hey, who knows what other 54 conversations been happening
Yeah, exactly.
underneath there, you know?
Are you surprised that Brooks is going?
No.
Okay, it has two different meanings. Okay. 54 holes, and 54 is the lowest score you could shoot if you were to bury every hole on a par 72 course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Jim Kong shot an 18.
That's right.
In that, I believe Norman said, what, you win $54 million if you shoot a 54?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a bunch of 54s.
Yeah. No one's going to shoot a 54.
No,
but
Jim Furyk shot a 58.
Brooks Koepka's going to shoot a 54.
Yeah, good luck.
Brooks probably got a.
How much did he get?
I assume a lot.
150, 125 at least. Dustin, right?
It hasn't come out yet, right?
I'd say 150.
People are still mad at him. Defect.
I don't know why anyone's surprised his brother's in it.
Yeah, I believe Pat said as soon as he saw Koepka's brother, and they're like, "Oh, okay, so Brooks is going over there too."
I didn't know he had a brother. I was like, is that guy related to Brooks? That's his brother. Oh,
okay.
So
He'll be over there in a few weeks.
So this is people acted surprised though, didn't they? I mean, just a new thing.
What about all the people trying to qualify? If there's only 48 people on the field, there's a lot of people trying to get in there because they're saying, "Hey, I'll take 48th place and take 125K."
Yeah, what about Corn Ferry Tour dudes or college guys or guys that Tin Cup just kind of bounce around? Are they able to sign up and say, "Hey, I would like to compete for a spot over here"? And is it just all the guys they give the big signing contracts or bonuses to, they're exemptions for everything? So this is how many spots we have open. How is that all coming about? Because they might be buying the European Tour or something like that, remember?
Yep.
And then would they just run it like
You have to qualify somehow. I know that.
Would they just, because the fact that the PGA Tour just announced the 8 tournaments with bigger pots, would they just raise the pot and then just make it available to more people?
I don't know. We shall see. Hey, golf is at a big time. And Zeke, I was with you, pal. I had never heard that before.
you
Now
go.
you stole it from somebody else.
Yeah.
But I was, because I was
about
like, God damn, way to go, Zeke. Put that together. And then 3-4 minutes later, yeah, somebody told me about that. And then that somebody was you guys. Turns out.
I swear we talked about this.
No,
That's
I
why
my DMs.
Nick said very good, Zeke.
Oh, I thought he said very good, Zeke. Like, I thought we were in the, like, never would have expected Zeke to do that thing.
No. It was like, oh, no.
No, I understood what Nick was saying that way. It was like everyone knew about it. I was like, I didn't know about it.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither did AJ. Thank you,
glad I
AJ.
informed you guys.
I don't usually think about Roman numerals too often.
I love Roman numerals.
Yeah, they got a little bit fucking absurd with some of them, though.
Is the next Super Bowl the Live Super Bowl? Or did that just happen?
I think it happened already.
Happened a while ago.
LIV is
2 ago, right?
no. XLV?
Which one was this last week?
See, we don't do well, Roman. Tomorrow we'll do
that's
this
true.
better.
Yeah.
We'll do this better.
It matters.
It does. Hashtag PMS, it matters. Say something nice to somebody.
What is it though, Zeke?
If you don't, if you have to ask, you never understand.
That's right.
Hashtag PMS, it matters. Say something nice to somebody. Put your cash tag in there. We'll give 10 people $599. We can't thank you enough. You can screenshot right now. All right. See you all tomorrow. It matters.
It
Never
matters.
forget
It does.
Zito just told me that this is a pretty. There's a poll run in the YouTube comments right now. Over 76% of the people did not know that LIV was 54.
wow.
So you guys with your little inside jokes that you keep away from me, Zito, AJ, in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, let's not maybe just always be on our high horses.
How about share your good ideas every once in a while, guys?
Let's not just fucking leave
On
us
your high
stranded out here.
pedestals, you guys stand on.
I thought we were a team. I was just talking.
Yeah.
I told Jay Cutler I wish we could bottle what we have here. Turns out you guys are secretive about information.
I don't want to bottle that up.
We
Jeez,
definitely,
there.
I swear we've had,
From that
like,
table.
maybe it was the first time.
Not with me, pal. Not with AJ.
Me either. I wasn't here.
Well, you're not here every
He's
other
not
day.
in the group chat either.
You're on vacation.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. All right, never mind. It matters.
It matters.
See you guys tomorrow. You all are the best. Tomorrow's show's big.
Huge.
Huge.
Tomorrow's big,
You don't
dude.
even know. NBA draft.
That's right.
What? Yeah. Lives will change tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
The story of hustle begins.
That's right.
Where will Bo Cruz go? We'll talk
Celtics!
to somebody from the basketball world tomorrow and more. We can't thank you all enough. Big thanks to Tom Pelissero, the Arrow, Kevin Weeks, and the House Oversight Committee for giving us a day to chat about. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck to the Bolts tonight. Hammer Down is in 15 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Down. And that's Hockey Talk. We'll be on tonight for a little watch along during the Stanley Cup. Can't wait to watch the game with you, Nikki Skates, Gumpy, and Rupper.
Shout out. Thank you. Can't wait to see you.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye.